know what you heard.
Don't know what you've heard.
I don't know what you heard.
Don't know what you heard.
Oh no.
But I'm the biggest bird. I'm the biggest bird. I'm the biggest bird. I'm the biggest bird. I'm the biggest bird.
I'm the biggest bird.
I'm the biggest bird.
I'm the biggest bird.
Bigger than a castle where you're an ostrich. They wanna be like me, but they can't be like this. I'm the biggest bird. I'm the biggest bird. I'm the biggest bird. I'm the biggest bird. Walked in, they scared of me. They wanna be like Mo, there's no comparison. They wanna be like Chickadee singing in the wind. Hold up, hate me, you understand, I'm not them. Bigger than a moa, they scared when I show up. They scared of the claws that tip my legs. They say, oh my, look at the size of the egg. I'm the biggest bird, it's so absurd. I'm the biggest bird, how have you not heard?
Haven't you heard?
Don't know what you heard. Don't know what you heard. Don't know what you heard. But I'm the biggest bird.
I'm the biggest bird.
I'm the biggest bird. I'm the biggest bird. I'm the biggest bird. I'm the biggest bird. I'm the biggest bird. I'm the biggest bird. I'm the biggest bird. I'm the biggest bird. I'm the biggest bird. I'm the biggest bird. I'm the biggest bird. Hey, P. Ornus, irritated when I walk in.
Who I is.
Fly above me, don't wanna give me no company. It's okay with me. You can't be on my perch.
You cannot.
You can't rest in my roost.
No, you can't.
I already know how you do.
Already know.
Biggest bird, that's me, Mr. 2002.
That's me.
Welcome, all of you beautiful people here to the Skyward Series match. We have a wonderful day ahead of you. Today is going to be our All-Star 2v2 Series Top 8 Bash, Beatdown, Brawl, whatever you want to call it. On the desk with me today is the beautiful, the wonderful Flip Out. He may look a little different, might not what he looked like yesterday, but I promise you that's Flip Out. You just got to trust. We got the boy Bezo back, got the crazy takes, gonna come in, you already know. And there's a face here you guys might not actually have seen before, but you recognize the name, especially if you were here last night. I want everybody to welcome in Wesco Cinco, one of the two of the duo that won last night. Milky Militia, Rush, taking it all in Challenger Series. Wesco Cinco, how we doing tonight, man?
I'm doing fantastic. Couldn't be better.
That's good to hear. Flip Out, man, are you happy to actually be on the desk again? I mean, you were here last night, but like, I don't know. Are you happy to be back?
I am. Last night was a blast. I am very happy to run it back this time.
Hey, Bezo, you know, I mean, usually I don't talk to you on the first game or something, but I mean, are you happy to be here? I'm glad to have you here.
Oh yeah, I'm happy to be here as always. It's just
Now,
what I do.
Everybody called Bezo a fraud last night after Bezo easily predicted the winners of the finals of the Challenger Series, Milky Militia. Wesco Cinco, real quick, walk us through how that final game felt last night.
I mean, it was a very strong performance, mainly from Jarhead himself. I mean, I wish he could be here. He was dominant. He got all first 4 goals in the match. I was able to scrap up the 5th, and really, he just put me in his backpack and just carried me all the way. I didn't have to do a thing, and couldn't ask for anything better than that.
That's good to hear, man. That's good to hear. So as we all know, Milky Militia Rush did win last night in the 2v2 Challenger Series. So what's crazy is I just want to take a small recap. These guys ran from the first series of the night all the way to Grands. It was a 4-0 sweep every single one of their series. They actually did not drop a game going into Grands and winning it. They beat the top team who was 12-0 going into Grands. That is FFEBS. They hadn't lost through the entire regular series, all the way up to the grand finals of this tournament. And of course, it was Milky Militia Rush to take him down. You know Wesco feels good about it. Jarhead couldn't be here, but we all know he sang his praises last night. He was very happy about it. Now, if we could take a look at the bracket for this evening, I'm going to give you guys some predictions from the desk on what we're going to see tonight. First up on the main stream, we've got Dragon Roulette going against True Egoist, but of course, there are other streams that are going to be happening. We've got Draco RL. If we could get a shout out for Draco, they're going to be streaming Big Dreams versus Unknown Wraith. And of course, Crouton Dust is back. They're on their own stream. Striker FaZe versus Evolve Team Z is going to be going on that stream. And the final series, casted by the wonderful, the handsome NJ Outlaw, has Evolve Gray and Wet Whiners. That is going to be the 4th series starting us off this evening. And I mean, guys, what do we think? You heard the team names. What are we thinking? This could be some pretty hype matches, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right. So of course, we're the desk. We've got to get predictions. Let me pull my notes up real quick because I've got some things here. I've got some things written down. So for Saturday on the predictions today for All-Star Series, we're going to start out with Outlaw. If you guys know anything about Outlaw, that's the Striker man himself. He loves Striker. He's predicted Striker FaZe to 100% go all the way to Grands, take it all. Easy, no problem. Cobra, who is a caster on the main cast, has also predicted Striker FaZe to go 100%. This is crazy. And Slep, who unfortunately couldn't be here with us because clearly we have Flip Out on the cast right now on the desk, also said FaZe 100%. So that's 3 out of 3 people that you don't see right now that have said Striker FaZe is going to take this 100%. Flip Out, what do you think?
All right, Flip Out as me. I have some solid takes. I've been watching the season a good bit. I'm going to say that it's Dragon Roulette full win. Takes it all, starts on this stream right here in about 5 minutes or whenever it starts, and then full wins the whole thing.
Dragon Roulette. Okay. All right. Now, Bezo, we'll get to you in a second. You already, man, I already know you're cooking up something crazy over there, so you don't need to say a single word. But Wesco, this is not your forte. This is not your league. You don't know much about All-Star Series, I'd presume. So I have a couple questions for you. We're going to start with the first series on the main cast. You got Dragon Roulette and True Egoist. Based solely off of the names, who's going to win the series?
Egoists.
Just straight up off the name, Egoist.
Absolutely.
Are you a fan of Blue Lock, I take it? Do you watch anime? Is that how you know that?
No, they probably got a big ego, and it's gonna be hard to break that down. And so if they just keep coming at you, keep being aggressive, you can't stop them. They're just gonna keep coming.
Okay. I like that. We're going to move on to the next series, though, on Draco's stream. Now, you have Big Dreams and Unknown Wraith. I want you to take a look at the logos this time. Based off of the logo, who's going to win that series?
I'm going to go with Unknown Wraith.
Okay. We've got Unknown Wraith for the second series. Let's move down to the third. Striker FaZe or Evolve Team Z. Which of these teams is gonna win based off of having the funniest team member on the pitch? Who has the comedian on the squad and takes the win in that match?
I'm gonna go Team Z.
You say Team Z's got the comedian. The professional jokester is on Team Z, and they are going to win because of it.
Yep.
Guys, Desk, how we feeling about that? We think Evolve Team Z's got the jokester?
I'll agree with that one.
Yeah, I'll agree too.
Okay, so everybody thinks the funniest 2 people on the entire pitch tonight are going to be Evolve Team Z. Oh, I like that. All right, now on the last one, based on who probably has the best hair on the pitch, who wins that match? That's Evolve Gray and Wet Whiners.
Evolve Gray.
They've got the best hair. They're the best
All
looking.
fan, all right.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so
Evolve wins
No,
are on the
just by
board.
the hair.
Just by the hair, based off the hair. Hey, come on now,
Whoa.
flip out. Come on now, flip out.
Sorry.
Like, let the man talk. Let him have his roses, okay? We invited him here. You're over here interrupted him. Jeez. Gosh. All right, now last but not least, I'm going to give my prediction here. I am going to say that I think it'll be Unknown Wraith who takes this all. I am a big fan of the Unknown guys, and I really, really hope that they can prove it on the pitch this evening. But I also think, you know, he's got a strong squad. You know what I mean?
Nope.
This guy is
Okay.
always interrupting me.
Nope.
Wesco, I'm so sorry. This is what he does. He
No, no,
interrupts
no,
on the desk. I'm so sorry.
That's fine. He got it right yesterday.
Okay.
That's fine. Go
True
ahead.
Egoist, sweep, Dragon Roulette. Striker Phase, Game 6 loss. I have
Game
a wet
six.
Game
Evolve,
6 law.
Evolve Gray, sweep. Unknown Aircraft, Game 5s. They win
All the way.
all the way. And I think Unknown Aircraft goes all the way, or True Egoist, whoever wins out of those two.
So we've got the hot take of True Egoist or Unknown Wraith coming out of that second round match, the semifinals, and Bezo says that's going to be the winner. And just before we throw it over to the beautiful casters we have on the pitch tonight, I got to let you guys know, Brambo, before he even gets a chance to talk and even defend himself, has said that he absolutely 100% agrees with Bezo's takes. So if you guys have any problems, we're going to throw it over to him and y'all can yell at him about the takes. We'll see y'all in the next match.
That is right. I stand by it. We dunked on this man all night. We said he was crazy, only to find that he was not just correct. He said it was going to win in 3, and we determined basically they did. They won it in 3. By the way, I'm Brambo, and to my side is Cobra Warrior. Your casters for the evening for the Skyward Series All-Stars. Welcome, Cobra.
Yeah, again, another wonderful night of Rocket League. And again, you know, you have made a very bold claim here to kind of partner yourself along with Bezo. But yeah, who knows? I mean, again, came through at the end, you know, basically had a perfect prediction if there ever was one. But very excited for this one. You know, kind of taking a look at all of these matches that we got in the first round. There's a few repeats. There's a few, you know, maybe grudge matches here, and specifically with this one, I'm so very interested because Dragon Roulette, they're 10-0. They haven't lost a game. However, this is a rematch. True Egoist did have to play Dragon Roulette, I believe, in week 6. I might check that. Need to check that, but it was 3-2. It was close. And True Egoist, they got a few wins against some of the other competitors that are in this top 8 here. So very excited to see if their egos can carry them, if they have evolved to get past this point, or if Dragon Roulette, you know, might have luck on their side here.
Well, you know, True Egoist definitely has got the winner's touch as Wesco Cinco is backing them based solely on their name. But, you know, you can take all the luck you can get as, you know, they just won themselves. Maybe have a little winner's dust on them going into this series. You know, they're going to need it as they are the lower seed facing off against the top seed. And, you know, as we saw last night, between FFE and Striker Aqua, that, you know, it's possible, but it's definitely a tall order.
Yeah, especially when we are, again, seeing all best of 7s here tonight. It is a long series. It could definitely get to a long series if you're kind of going back and forth. So having a quick start is oh so important when you're getting into this kind of day where, you know, the longer of a series you have, the more it can take out of you in the next potential series. So you want to get it done and dusted as soon as humanly possible.
Definitely. And you want to kind of set that statement, get that flow going, because as we saw last night in the playoffs, Rush, you know, they swept the entire way up, even though the top seed, you know, they struggled a little bit, you know, going into those first 2 series, but they definitely showed some dominance going into the grand final, only to just get walloped by the the champions Rush, and so it really goes to show you really got to come out strong, and you cannot let up the gas. And as we said yesterday, you could be 10-0 or 1-10. If you're in the playoffs now, your record is 0, and no matter what, if you lose tonight, you're out.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it is one of those things where, it is on the day. How are you feeling on the day? How can you maintain your form, maintain your mental, and really try to employ different play styles to adjust during a game? I mean, we saw plenty of changes on the stream yesterday, where it came from substitutions or it came from different types of styles of play being employed onto the pitch. But I really think there's a ton of different ways that you could go about this, but it's all about keeping your mental high, keeping the mental toughness as you're slogging through these series, and really making sure that you're kind of gassing up your teammates here, because it's so important to keep that connection through the entirety of a series.
It's very important, and you definitely want to keep those rotations quick and keep the aggression on. You gotta balance it between between aggressive and not being so aggressive that you don't have any good rotations into the back line, because we saw yesterday plenty of open nets from an aggressive play, and off the top, Shrimpzuka gets first strike in the first 12 seconds of the game off of an aerial. A good stop by Big Brain, but could not get enough oomph to clear it just wide. And Dragon Roulette, the #1 seed, coming out strong.
Yeah, I mean, truly, if that is the dream first touch for a player, it's really their first full possession of the ball, and you immediately go from ground to air and get a wonderful look. True Egoists were there to at least try and put a stop on it, but it was put in such an awkward position. Shrimpzuka almost getting another look there, but Dragon Roulette don't seem done just yet. They're continuing the cycle and being really efficient on the ball. No wasted movement so far.
Definitely no wasted movement, but True Egoists got a look of their own, but just a little too high. A good job bumping the defender out of the play. If it was on target, that was an easy goal, but they're not done yet. Big Brain going up for it, bumping Shrimpzuka out of the play, trying to get another tap, but Xver cannot get another touch on it, and they will have to back up, get some boost, and just wait for Dragon Roulette to try and do something with it. But at midfield, they lose it already, and Egoists back at it for now.
Yeah, right now fairly even. I think Egoists are starting to break down Dragon Roulette a little bit in terms of they're getting closer and closer to getting that final shot. As a true Egoist, you have to create the formula to win here. Hyper trying to go to the top right corner, but an incredible save there by Shrimpzuka. But true Egoists, they are cycling now. They are finding more room, and they're trying to take out players as they do so.
Yes, they are, but they're not quite capitalizing on those just yet. But it's only a matter of time. It's a great Cruxer pinch, but just wide. Their second shot that has been so close, trying to extend the lead, but it almost only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades as Big Brain takes it in the air, has one to beat, but Shrimpzuka, great defensive effort, makes the clear and keeps their lead for now as the clock strikes 2:40 left in game #1 of this best of 7. It's Shexfer, gets the second bump and gets the tying goal for True Egoists. Great pressure by True Egoists.
Yeah, you felt like they were never that far away from a goal, and they were throwing a bunch of mechanics, a bunch of different looks. Right before that, a couple of great saves by Dragon Roulette, but True Egoists slow down the pace. They draw out that 50, which allows them a clean shot on net, equal here with half the game remaining.
Plenty of time for either one of these teams to get the go-ahead goal. No one wants to be that one, but Shrimpzuka gets a opportunistic play and takes full advantage, puts it top shelf. Big Brain tried to clear it softly, but a little too hard. Sets up Shrimpzuka with that go-ahead goal for Dragon Roulette, and they will take it just a few seconds after Egoists tie it up.
Yeah, good teams are never down for long, and Big Brain Bob trying to get one back. Unfortunately, couldn't get around it, and now Dragon should be open here. I think it was an all-in attack there by True Egoist. They will pay on the back line as Dragon, I think they just, True Egoist got caught up in the corner. And, you know, sometimes you're just going to have to, you know, take that one on the chin. You went all out. You did get the look, but unfortunately, the shot didn't go through. 3-1 here, Dragon Roulette.
Yeah, that to be fair, that opportunity was there. You saw it, but the shot just wasn't on target, and especially with a teammate in the net and another one going for the backup shot, you know, it's definitely the risk. But that's the kind of the break of twos. We talked about it. You know, they have to, you know, balance that aggression and that safety, but it's Shexer gets an opportunistic touch, and not expecting it was Dragon Roulette, and Dragon D's a little too aggressive on the play, and now True Egoist within one with 1:30 to go.
Yeah, I mean, True Egoist, they are telling roulette here. I think, you know, we saw Dragon, you know, was going for the fake challenge, you know, showed a little bit of presence and turned away and wasn't expecting the shot immediately from that position. And now possible demo here, that will be the equalizer. And now Egoist putting it together will find another goal here.
Great demo play by Big Brain Bob. Definitely showing that 5-head in that play. And is it Hexper? Hexper? Hyper?
Honestly, I would say hyper, but, you know, sometimes, you know, when they put an X or a Y or a Z someplace that there should be a vowel, I have no idea. I would say hyper, but, you know, we're gonna get a message here in the DM
chat
soon. Like,
chat will definitely correct us.
Yeah, chat will let us know. Feel free, because we want to make sure that we are highlighting the player as they should be. So someone, anyone close to True Egoist, let us know. But less than a minute left. They are hanging in here with the #1 ranked. You know, as kind of expected here. I mean, they kept close with them in the regular season. And both these teams have taken steps, taken strides to improve over the season. So excited to really see how this one ends up.
Definitely. And Izzy in the chat said it's hyper. So good
hyper.
to thank you, Izzy. So we guessed it correctly, which is, you know, I'm getting better at that. But and now, you know, huge demo here, and Shrimpalooza just wide, and then Big Brain makes the save. Oh my, that is the third chance, and now a follow-up by Egoist, and they get the go-ahead. 6 seconds remaining. Oh my, game #1 for Dragon Roulette is a tale of missed opportunities. They've had at least 3 goals just shot wide, goal and opportunities. And can Egoist hold on to this and take game #1 against the #1 seed? We'll find out. The clock at 0. It's not hit the ground just yet. Dragon carrying it over. Thoughts to Shrimpapalooza. Hyper gets a stop. It's still in the air though. Going for it. Gets a double tap, but oh my goodness. They almost get the tying goal, but it is True Egoist that take game #1.
Yeah, I mean, for Dragon Roulette, just unfortunately, those final opportunities just couldn't quite get in. It fell apart, you know, for the go-ahead goal for True Egoist. Just the shot. I think Shrimpzuka, I mean, in a good position and maybe pulled the trigger just a hair too early in terms of the shot. And then Hyper jumped so early for that and the transition on the other side. And I think Dragon may have popped it up for him. And then that final look, you did the opportunity that you wanted. It was really close. It's a tough shot to kind of find that angle. But both these teams, they're peppering the net on their respective sides. I mean, it looks like, what is this, 11 shots to
13.
13 on the other side. The defense seems pretty even on both sides. I mean, we were getting some quality looks, quality opportunities, and some quality saves just regardless in the series.
Yeah, and like I said during the game, it's a lot. A couple of those shots, those 2 extra shots, could have been the game changer that would have just given Dragon Roulette the victory. They've had 2 really great chances. One right at the end. I mean, that was more of a great defensive play by True Egoist, but the other 3 at least, were open nets. It was their goal to make. The shot was unfortunately just wide, and maybe it's that first seed jitters, maybe it's a little rust they got to wear out. We will find out as we get started in game number 2, and Shrimp Zuka and Dragon really want to make a statement in this game too. You can believe that.
Yeah, I think for them, they're going to look for a little bit of that buffer where they don't have to rely on those late game heroics. Zuka should be able to put that one in there. Goal number 1 for Dragon Roulette. And again, it's just making sure you get all of those easier opportunities. This one, defense not able to steer that one away. Zuka does not miss from that kind of line. But when he gets some of those easier opportunities, the more difficult looks will start to come a little bit more naturally. I mean, they're going to have to do a lot of work. Big Brain Bob, the big brain fake there, but it will be knocked away here in another attacking opportunity for Dragon. Zuka waiting in the wings, but won't be called on just yet.
Not quite yet, but they're still chomping at the goal. He's got a chance, but Hyper makes the stop. And now going for a counterattack. Another open net. It's Shrimp Zuka a little too aggressive, and it's Egoist that get the tying goal yet again. Shrimp Zuka confident on the play that he was going to be able to keep it in the orange zone, but Hyper just gets the better of him. And now we have a tie game, and again, so evenly matched for how differently seeded these 2 teams are.
Yeah, I feel like it is truly a good matchup for True Egoist, so I think that's why they have so much confidence here. Big Brain Bob gets the flick to the far post and all the control, and Dragon is kind of expecting the shot, but unfortunately doesn't get the pickup on the jump that they're looking for. Another goal here for True Egoist.
Talk about threading the needle. There was a slim angle that Dragon couldn't cover, and that's exactly where he hit it. And what a play by True Egoist and Big Brain. My good, I'm at a loss for words already, and it's only the first game, but right back at him is Dragon, and ties this game up from basically midfield. I think Big Brain is a little too aggressive on that play and left the net wide open. Thought for sure that he would get to it before Dragon had a chance to shoot it, and did not pan out for him. And off the kickoff, Dragon trying to get another one and get another go-ahead for his team, but stopped right now by Egoist defense.
Yeah, Dragon seems to kind of have this awareness and has picked their moments well. Another opportunity. Will they get the flip? No, they'll just try to push it along. Good 50. And Shrimp Zuka will have to pick this one up at the midfield. Looking for the stop. It will get past him now. Big Brain Bob trying to get this somewhere central. Will get to a decent spot for Hyper, but not able to get back around it. Big Brain Bob to the midfield. Shrimp Zuka with the 50. Bouncing here. Hyper will look to go immediately to the corner. Now 50. Dragon yet again on the blue side, and they'll finally get a little bit of relief here. It's back and forth, and I feel like we're in a kind of game where it's going to be who gets the final possession in each one of these games to see who's the victor.
Definitely, and who gets the better opportunities, but Dragon very, very astute and able to get the back man out of the play and almost had a offensive counterattack opportunity, but thwarted by Hyper and the Egoists. And now it's just a matter of who makes the next mistake. And actually, the last couple of goals, oh my goodness, a nice flick over the defender. It's trickling in, but Dragon is there to make the stop. you know, I was gonna say it's come down to the who makes the least mistakes, but oh my God, it's who makes the better plays as Big Brain Bob flicks it yet again over the defense. They are just not expecting these kind of shots out of the Egoists, and if they played them before, I can't. They've either sandbagged them earlier in the regular season and hasn't showed them the sauce that they can really do, but right off the kickoff, as I'm trying to give them kudos, they answer back in a fury, tit for tat. They just cannot let Egoist get any kind of lead.
Yeah, I mean, it's exactly the kind of response that you would expect from the #1 seed. They don't want to let this get too far away, and they're going to take the lead here as well on the kickoff. I'm Dragon, the hat trick on that goal, but they cannot let True Egoists get any sort of cushion, and it doesn't feel like a game where you're going to be able to do that. It seems like your opponent is going to have this direct comparison, this direct response to every single thing that you do. Now, Dragon Roulette in the driver's seat for now. Can they find that ever elusive, next goal that gives them a 2-goal lead here?
They're looking for it. They had a couple good chances, but Egoist able to weather the storm and now looking for a counterattack of their own, trying to center it, denied by Shrimpzuka. Bob's gonna have to go for it. Gets it past one. Has Dragon to boot. Gets the 50. It's on target. Shrimpzuka with the stop. Hyper puts it back on net, and Dragon able to get back in time and keep their lead for now with a minute remaining. Hyper, though, maintaining the pressure, followed by Dragon. A little back and forth into the orange corner. Shrimpzuka has an open net, puts it on target, and that's the go-ahead 2-goal lead that Dragon Roulette was looking for. And with a minute to go, I mean, I don't think it's quite over just yet.
Yeah, it really feels like you have to protect every kind of lead, and Dragon Roulette, I think they'll be a little bit safer if they had one more goal, because True Egoist, again, they're not ever too far away from a response, and Big Brain will send that all the way off the top. Hyper will keep the goalie in check and will find a little bit of space, and it is just that quick. This game for both sides is going to test your positioning and your reaction time. I mean, Dragon is staring that directly down and knows they have to pick a side, and even they picked the right side, it was just too close of a call.
Caught him with his feet planted, and when you're trying to cover the defense like that, you cannot do that. You can't react fast enough, especially with a setup like that to Hyper, and they have him within one, but Hyper able to get back in time. Whew. I thought that was going to just roll into the goal, but Dragon has an open net opportunity. It hits in, and they get their 2-goal lead back, and it looked like Egoists might start inching their way back in, but too aggressive of a play, and they are able to stop the first attempt, but not the second one. Dragon puts them back up by 2, 24 seconds to go. Now, can we say this might be a little too far out of reach for the Egoists?
Yeah, they definitely will be struggling for time here, especially when Dragon is, kind of slowing them down every step of the way, but Hyper is not going to believe that just yet. They will want one more, but again, it does feel like that tit-for-tat game. You score a goal, I'll score a goal. In this game, it was just Dragon taking over the multiple goals for them. They'll actually shoot on their own net. They won't mind the own goal in this situation if it does mean a victory. But right now, I mean, it is a great look for Strikers here. 1,000-point game for a Dragon here, and they'll even up the series. Best of 5 moving on forward.
Yeah, you can definitely say that game #1 was definitely a little rust that they had to shake off, get it off of their, suspension, they'll get the bumper cleaned a little bit, shine it up a bit, and now they're kind of looking a little better. Even in the beginning of this game, they were a little shaky. True Egoist looking like they're going to continue on what they were doing in game #1, but finally Dragon Roulette seemingly waking up the sleeping dragon, and finally got a lead, held a lead, and kept it a 2-goal lead for the remainder of the last minute and a half.
Yeah, I mean, right now this game feels very ebb and flow back and forth, and when you can disrupt that like Dragon Roulette did, which is, you know, getting the lead and then that one extra, I believe it was like 3 goals scored in a row where they were the one that was responding. That is what you wanted. They equalized, then they took the lead, then they got that extra little bit. They just found that rhythm, and while True Egoist, again, still very competitive, still, you know, giving them issues, that balance disrupted where they were all of a sudden, you know, playing from behind. They weren't necessarily, you know, in step with the game script there for them. They want to make sure they are responding every opportunity they get, but right now they have to stop this player. Dragon had a huge effect on game number 2, and it might actually be able to get this one here, looking for the shot, but won't be able to lock that one down. And it's all about making the best of the opportunities you have. Big Brain Bob has to have a huge save there and will be able to keep away the damage from now.
What a save by Bob. And, you know, the one thing I also want to mention is the kickoffs. Definitely, Egoists want to, you know, stop any kickoff play that Dragon Roulette has, because they got at least 2 goals. The goals that gave them the 2-goal lead was off the kickoff. And that they just had like a 10-second lapse in judgment, or just they kind of fell apart for like 10 seconds, and then the game just was out of their hands. You know, I was saying it's like a matter of who's going to make the next mistake. Right. Egoist made the great plays, and Dragon Roulette just capitalized on mistakes that Egoist made. And so it's like your Dragon Roulette is working smarter, not harder, and Egoists are putting their entire effort into it and still coming up short.
We'll have to change up the script here. Game number 3 is really a momentum shift for both of these teams if they get the victory. And, you know, for a series that has been a lot of goals early, we are basically 2 minutes into play with nothing just yet. Shrimzuka looking to carry it the whole way, has an option in the midfield, but calls their own number. Dragon on the response. Now playing this corner, trying to stick alive as Big Brain Bob maybe trying to go head hunting there. Hyper, opportunity for goal, blocked away early, and both these teams, they're ready and waiting for the opportunity. What a wonderful shot there, and that'll be the pass to Hyper for the put away.
Tic-tac-toe, 1, 2, 3. That is how you play Rocket League. What a setup by Bob to Hyper, and just puts a laser on the target before the defense could even get to it. And for the first time in this series, True Egoists strike first, and looking to get another one. A nice center left for Hyper, doesn't win the 50, sent to the corner, and Big Brain will take it again. Sent to the far wall where Hyper was looking at it, but decided to head back and saw the aggression coming. Good stop though by Hyper. Looking to even it up is Dragon. Has a good shot. Saved by Hyper. Looks like Dragon wants to get the equalizer now. They're feeling the wrath at midfield. Egoists give him some space, but not too much, as Bob puts it into the blue corner. And right now, getting chased is Shrimzuka by Bob. Now into the corner, trying to set up for Dragon. Sends it up. Dragon not feeling too comfortable for it. Gets sent to midfield where he waits for the pass from Hyper. A good pass. A good shot past Bob. Left for Shrimzuka. No shot on net just yet. And right now they have an opportunity. Hyper trying to get in the way of it. Gets in. Does so. And now they can breathe a sigh of relief for now, and weathered the storm just for a bit. That was a good 30 seconds of Dragon Roulette offense.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're starting to see on both sides where the attack is getting a little bit more aggressive and more creative in terms of there's a player downfield in front of the play trying to go for a little bit of disruption and making themselves available for a downfield pass. And, you know, with that, you know, we're going to see a lot more transition, and it's going to be up to the rotations being quick enough here to kind of stick with the play. Right now, Big Brain Bob option for Hyper. Hyper trying to get into the face of Dragon Roulette, but will get basically demoed for their efforts now. Challenge in the 50. Dragon needs to get this central somehow, but not a ton of boost. Will have to retreat and leave it for their teammate as Big Brain Bob. Leaves it to Hyper. Hyper now over to the corner. Covered by Shrimp Zuka. Hyper will get another chance at it, but sends this high and all the way to the other side. 30 seconds approaching on the clock, and Dragon Roulette will have to be the one that makes something happen, but not really getting the free range space anymore. It seems like it's like man coverage here in the final moments, and it'll be, you know, they'll be hard pressed to get a goal here.
I can definitely see Egoist backing up just a bit. They're putting a little bit of aggression, like once they get it into the blue zone. But once they do, they let up the aggression, and now Shrimpzuka in the final 5 seconds ties it up. And it's, I said they were letting up a little bit, and you know, we always say you don't want to let up even if you're ahead, and that is exactly why you want to maintain the aggression.
Just a little bit of a rush to try and get that ball out of the corner, and turned into both players kind of turning at the near post. And now we are in overtime, and this could truly go either way. Golden goal opportunity to take the lead in the series, take a little bit of momentum. And Hyper, 1v1 situation, trying to get past. Now it'll be Big Brain Bob looking for the immediate shot off the backboard.
Oh!
Hyper will put it away. They'll take game number 3.
A great setup by these two off the backboard, and Shrimp just not sure how to play it. Takes a little too long to decide, and Hyper, in true fashion, just goes for it and gets the go-ahead goal for their team, taking the lead 2-1.
Yeah, and that's one of those plays where it really could go either way. You see what Shrimp was trying to do, maybe slow that one down and catch that on the ground, but Hyper turns immediately after they get that corner boost, and a much different game than what we saw earlier. I mean, the shots way down for both sides, 6-3 on Dragon Roulette. Not quite the scoring bonanza that we were seeing in the previous 2 games, and I wonder if this is going to be how we're going to see the rest of the series, or both teams paying ultra attention to their defense, to the rotations, because I mean, as great as it is to score 4 or 5 goals every single game, it's not necessarily something that you could count on being able to reproduce.
No, and it feels more chaotic when it's a score fest like that, because you're just on edge as when the next goal is coming. You kind of feel more at ease and a little more calm when it's a 1-goal, 1-0 game, and you know, you just kind of really sets the tone for, you know, you just want to relax a bit, you know, and you don't feeling so much pressure. It's like wins, you know, even if you get a 2-goal lead, like they could easily score 2 more.
Absolutely. Well, back to the action here. Game number 4 in Utopia, and Dragon looking to kind of reclaim the scoring throne here. A little bit quiet in game number 3. Shrimzuka tries to solve him up. Big Brain Bob, a huge save there. Won't be able to get the second one. I think they're actually bumped into that 50, and it does not matter, as a huge play there to start off for Dragon Roulette.
You said it perfectly. He put a little too much extra on it, but it doesn't matter. Dragon backs up his teammate and gets the 50 anyway for Dragon Roulette. They strike first, and hopefully maybe they're in better form and they can hold a lead this time. We will see, but I don't think it'll be a 1-0 game like it was in the previous one. I think egoists are not going to let that lie for that long. Right now, Shrimpzuka, though, looking to get the extender, and he does! I mean, he's making me eat my words. I did finish that sentence, so I guess Caster Curse remains. It's worked that time. Shrimpzuka, not happy about finishing how he finished the last goal, and looking to finish this one himself.
Yeah, I mean, for Dragon Roulette, it's kind of the dream scenario if you could get a game like this
Oh!
where you're just scoring on demand, and Dragon D's is doing exactly that. This is on the kickoff, and it's a little bit odd that, you know, we're talking about it, and the demo kind of disrupts, I think, the plan there for Egoist, and Dragon a little bit too much space. They're able to read that off the back wall, and they get a third goal. And now another opportunity. Hyper's in trouble. They're not going to be able to get to the other side of this, and Shrimzuka is going to add a little salt to the wound, insult to injury. And Hyper, I mean, in that spot with not a lot of boosts, they really don't have any choices there. And True Egoists find themselves down 4 in the first minute.
Yeah, a great mental. I think that's a mental breakdown. And, you know, to Wesco Cinco's point, you know, if they've got a big ego, you know, they're going to be coming at you strong. But, you know, the downside of a big ego is if things aren't going your way, you kind of tend to lose temperament. You don't maybe necessarily keep your cool. And, you know, this is an extended mental breakdown. They had this in game number 2 where they had like a mental brain fart for like 30 seconds and got 2 goals scored against them back to back. But now it's 4 goals with 3 minutes and 30 seconds left in this game. Possibly a 5th. Shrimzuka just dunking on Hyper extends their lead to 5.
Yeah, right now it's everything that Dragon Roulette is touching is turning to gold. True Egoist, I mean, maybe you could say a little bit close there, and one touch kind of beats them both to the punch. But, I mean, is it Dragon Roulette are kind of going off or just deciding to equal the series? I mean, it has been back and forth, and maybe we expected this to, you know, honestly, I expected Dragon Roulette to have a response, but not necessarily this dominant of a response. They might look for another one here. Awkward bounce for everyone involved, but they're going to look for the shot. It will be Big Brain Bob sending that one away. I mean, so many B's in that one, and really a struggle for me to keep up with. But, I mean, True Egoist, the nice thing is that it happened early, that you have plenty of time to at least make this one look a little bit closer. I mean, you might not be able to score 5 in 245, but I think you're definitely able to get a few goals under your belt, kind of stack some victories here off the back wall. Shrimzuka will send that away, but there's still chances here for True Egoist.
Definitely true chances, a lot of chances, and you know, I think they gotta take some time in this game too. It's tough; they can't do a timeout in the mid of the game, but you know, I mean, that's a perfect time for it because after goal 3, because you know they're really in their heads, they're kind of like flipping out, like why is this happening? But they seem to settle down a little bit, but at this point, I think the one step at a time, get a goal of their own. It doesn't matter if it's the game winner, it doesn't matter if they catch back up in this game. They just got to reset somehow and get that momentum back, and that's a good start as Bob gets the demo on the last man, and Hyper gets the credit for the goal. That's how you get back into it. Hyper gets the credit, but Bob gets the credit on the scoreboard. But to me, Bob deserves all the credit for that goal. And I got a tongue twister for you, Cobra. Big Brain Bob builds bicycles by beach buoys. There you go.
Yeah, I'm not going to be attempting that one unless you know, Big Brain Bob does something absolutely insane here. But that's one of those bumps that is so very nice and not really going to bother Shrimzuka as they get yet another one entering Brazil territory here. But I mean, right now, Shrimzuka, it gets the bump on the other side. They're controlling the ball, and I think right now they are being very direct with how they approach the net. They're trusting one player to do a ton of work and really kind of outplay a EWS defender and go directly to net. There's not a lot of smoke and mirrors here. It is, I'm going to get a good 50. I'm going to get a flick that is going to be a great distance away. And Hyper doesn't care anything about that. We'll get a nice goal to at least break up the Brazil, and maybe just a little bit of a heavy touch there for Dragon.
Yeah, they're you know, Hyper, great pressure on a good feeling Dragon Roulette, you know, just That's kind of the egoist you want to see. You want to see them putting on pressure and making Dragon Roulette feel uncomfortable. Because right now, I don't think Dragon Roulette's feeling any bit of discomfort at all, even at a 6-2 game. And you want them not being in this kind of form, because right now everything is going their way. Every touch is going the way they want it to, and you got to do something to tear up that mojo.
About 45 seconds remaining here, and maybe some time for True Egoist to throw some stuff at the wall, see if it works, and maybe they're gonna work on their passing, but just on the opposite side of the net. I mean, listen, if we do a little bit of effects on this, we can make that look like that one went into the blue net. That was a really good pass in the midfield.
Well,
unfortunately, will be the own goal there.
Yeah, just one saturation, a touch is all we need to, and then just a little Photoshop on the score right there, but, it's good for Egoist to get a goal. It's good to see that, but not so much in the orange zone. I think they're not getting too picky at this point when it's 6-2, now 7-2 with 20 seconds to go. Looking to maybe just relax a little, have a little fun, joke a bit, don't put too much pressure on it. They know the outcome of this game, and they're just going to have to focus on the next game going forward.
Yeah, I think that's one of the probably one of the only good things, like when you're facing the opposite side of a score line like this, is you can just throw the game out. Like, don't worry about it. Nothing went right, where it's like, you lose a close game, you have to figure like, all right, like what is that one thing that we need to fix in order to get going? This game got out of control really quickly, and it feels like just forget it and move on, regain, don't even think about it. There's not a lot to analyze here. Just, we know what we need to do. We didn't do it in this game, and just come back stronger. Even series here, and Dragon Roulette continue to fight back, and this is really the fight that we should expect. It's back and forth here. Dragon Roulette, a dominant game here. Shrimpzuka with 5 goals, Dragon with 3, both players with the hat trick. And for them, they obviously want to continue this good run of form. They would love to get multiple kickoff goals and really buy themselves that intense buffer zone that they created, but they'll have to continue working here to make that a reality.
Definitely. I think this was a gift from Egoist to Dragon Roulette. Barring just a full breakdown, I could definitely tell towards the end they were just having fun with it, scoring on their own net, really just trying to. So I don't think they're too in their head yet. So I think we're going to call this one a gift. This one's a gift to them, and to make this a best of 3. And now we're going to see what happens now that they've kind of recollected themselves, and now we're in an even series. So it's not too much pressure just yet.
Yeah, it's all for the content. I mean, if you're making a YouTube video for this, you're like, how many goals did we go? We came back in this game. Like, this could be a really good YouTube header. You and me, our faces, really big like expression as we see a possible great comeback here. But now True Egoist, level playing field, 5 minutes in game 5, Oasis here, and they're going to be looking for a gift, looking for that change for some greener pastures here.
And we also have a card change for Hyper as well, going to the Fennec from the Octane. Hopefully, maybe the card change as well will be the nice momentum changer that you need. I'm personally a fan of the Fennec. I prefer it over the Octane. So I'm definitely for that kind of change. And Hyper, tactical whiff on that, leaves it for Bob. Shrimpzuka sent to the far wall, Dragon a little far out of his reach. Will settle it down. Bob now has possession. Flicks it further down, goes for the demo of Shrimpzuka, but just wide. Shrimpzuka sends the clear. Hyper trying to take it, get the boost, but he gets demoed instead. Bob having to take it from the corner, pressured a little bit by Dragon, and gets demoed for his troubles. And right now into the blue zone, Egoist looking to get that first strike, settle down for Bob. Bob sends it behind the defender, and Egoist get first strike.
Yeah, Hyper, it's a really good job to make sure they keep their momentum on the wall to even get that pass. You know, you could always, when you flip, sometimes you don't quite keep your momentum. You could spin out on that wall, but they do a really good job making sure they drift a little bit. The pass is out and away from the net, so you give your attacking player the best chance to get an open sight line, and they managed to do it. But a quick response here, dump off the back wall, and Shrimzuka wants a quick response. They're starting to, have that press as they are, kind of dominating this half-field play. Shrimzuka yet again to the backfield. Dragon waiting for that one to fall. Might have an opportunity. Shrimzuka near post, and they'll get it to go equal here with 3:19 left.
It feels like Dragon Roulette can score at will. They're responsible with their power. They only do it when they need to. And it just feels like every time the Egoists have a lead of some sort, Dragon Roulette just turns on the afterburners and just play completely differently. I don't know what that is or why that happens, but it just seems like they're playing with their food. And we'll see if it starts to bite back on them if they continue playing like that. Because if they can indeed score at will, they might play a little too long and then get bit themselves.
Well, I think something that True Egoists might be getting caught doing is once they score a goal and they get a lead, they're really trying to get that second goal. And it causes them to maybe play a little bit too aggressive. They're trying to do what Dragon Roulette did in terms of getting a buffer, because the intensity that they're playing at when they're even or when they're one goal ahead is probably not super comfortable. They don't want to be playing that game, so they try and extend it. A wonderful play here, a follow-up possible, shot blocked away, but they want to get a buffer, and right now Dragon Roulette not quite giving him that look, and they're waiting for opportunities. Shrimzuka shot, misses it here. Had a little bit of space to do some damage if they wanted to, but couldn't get on the other end of it.
Definitely, and I can definitely see that point. It's trying to get that cushion goal because they know the opponent that they're facing. They know a 1-goal lead is not enough. But
yeah.
If I'm the coach of Egoists, I would say, you don't want to act like you're behind in the last final seconds to get that second goal. You want to ease into that. Make them make the mistakes. And Hyper tries to get the double touch just out of reach. Bob with a chance, sends it up, fakes it, goes down, but Shrimzuka had a magic 8-ball, read the play beautifully, able to get the stop, and now on the counterattack, has 2 to beat now, taking a little time, trying to dangle it around, and gets demoed, sent back to the starting point, where Bob will take it a little too long, and Dragon pressuring him. Hyper, though, able to clear it to midfield. Back in play, though, for Shrimzuka. Sent directly to Dragon, not ready for it. Gets demoed, and now it's Hyper at midfield with a little bit of boost. Not too much, though. Just sends it up. Puts a soft shot on. Shrimp with an easy save. And now Bob with full boost. Can't do much with it, and now Dragon will take it into the corner. Trying to send it over to his teammate. Can't do it. With 45 seconds to go. Can someone... a tactical whiff by both defenders, and not like this! Not like this! Shrimzuka with a wide open net after both defenders just misread the bounce, the trajectory, and with 39 seconds left, that hurts. That one hurts.
Yeah, they were playing with such control, and then just that little bit of panic injected on the defensive side, and now they'll be pressed to get the goal. Could be here, though. Nice little touch, and Big Brain Bob will get it directly back here, and that's the exact response that you need late in the game.
Special delivery, airmail, courtesy of Big Brain Bob. On-time delivery, satisfaction guaranteed. 30 seconds to go. I mean, what Egoists, they make such great goals. If we were to rate this game based on the goals of each team, Egoists would win hands down because they have such stellar goals. I mean, that one's not very pretty, but it'll get the job done. An uncharacteristic defensive breakdown by Dragon Roulette leads a open net goal for a Hyper, and Egoists and they take the lead. Whew.
I mean, yeah, 15 seconds left here. It's a little bit of a heartbreaker, but right now, Dragon Roulette don't have time to think about it. They have to be the ones in control. Big Brain Bob will try to take as much time as possible and create havoc here on the ball, sticking around and basically setting up Hyper to disrupt this one. Tough to get this all the way to the other side, and Shrimpzuka needs a little bit of help, but Big Brain Bob looking to kill this and will do so. True Egoist come out on top and will find themselves the first opportunity at series point.
True Egoist, the sleeping giants of Game 5. I mean, come on. The whole game, if you would ask me, 3 minutes gone in that game, who is going to win this? I would have totally said Dragon Roulette just based on the play.
Yeah. But
out of nowhere, Egoist just come out and just give a right hook to Dragon Roulette, and now they find themselves on match point, like you said.
Yeah. I mean, listen, they've been biding their time, and again, I think they've done a great job in terms of this response from the game that we saw previously. They were doing a lot of things that I liked in terms of slowing down when they felt like they could, trying to get control. I think both teams were trying to do that, and opportunities will open up. I think both defenses, left some things on the table. I think we saw both teams, kind of capitalize on that, but now True Egoist have gotten to the precipice. They are almost there. They just need one game win. They're going to have 2 chances to get it, and Dragon Roulette fighting for their lives. This could go to 7, but Neo Tokyo is, it is where dreams of going to Champions Field can come to die here. Dragon Roulette will be starting with the ball. Good kickoff, and Shrimpzuka off to the backboard, looking for a follow. No, we'll just go head hunting. Good shot here from Dragon, and I expect heavy aggression from the side of Dragon Roulette. I don't think they'll mess around in front of net.
You don't want it too heavy, though, because the counterattacks like this could bite you, as Hyper's shot is just wide and could have been first strike for Egoist. A little fake out from Bob. Dragon, though, able to recover and get it out of his position for now. Shrimpzuka puts it to midfield. Hyper, though, takes it, puts it back into the blue zone, gets bumped out of the play, though. Dragon with a flick up to Shrimpzuka. Bob, the last man, has to handle it just right, able to do so into the corner. And now carrying it with half boost in the tank. Can't expel too much boost, otherwise he's going to be a sitting duck. But
Yep.
able to get it out of the way is Hyper. Bob with an easy shot, easy save by Dragon. Hyper, though, coming for it, a little too aggressive on the play, and Dragon sends it over him. Hyper can't make the stop, and it's Dragon Roulette who get first strike.
Yeah, this is just the perfect touch there as Hyper, maybe just passing that midfield line, just getting a little too close, and Dragon's gonna basically call him out, test the defense, and unfortunately not able to get back there. Dragon Roulette, that's the kind of strike that they want, and they'll get it with plenty of time to spare.
Definitely, and that's the tone setter that they want. They want to put Egoists on the back foot. They want them to panic. But
Yep.
honestly, if they want them to panic, they should just give them the lead first, because that seems to be what they do best. Every time they get a lead, they start to panic. Or when they just fall behind, they give 2 tactical whiffs on defense. But Shrimpzuka's shot is just a little high, and they survive another day. Still within 1, but Shrimpzuka and Dragon Roulette are not done yet. A little ahead of the play, though, is Dragon. He has to back up. Shrimpzuka with little boost, just tossing it up, hoping for a follow-up by Dragon. Almost had it just high, and a quick counter by Hyper, though. And that game is tied, ladies and gentlemen. The lights a little too bright. No one can see what was going except for Hyper. And Egoist tie it up.
Yeah, that's just, it's a wide rotation. They're trying to steal the corner. Shrimpzuka goes all the way to the other side and hoping that there's a good touch from Dragon in that position, but it goes well for True Egoist, and now, very clear transitional play, and equal here with 3 minutes on the clock. Big Brain Bob now on the attack, looking for the 50. Dragon reads it well and sends it clear other side. A little bit of a dribble play here by Shrimp. Now to the corner, drop down, Dragon could see the other side of this, shot on target. Hyper will have to flip backwards in order to save that one. Any clearance? No. Shrimpzuka will keep it around. Dragon off the side wall, looking for yet another touch. It will go off the backboard. Big brain Bob in a little bit of trouble. Hyper now back to the corner. Both these teams will have to take care of the ball. It is going to be any mistake could lead to the go-ahead goal here, and they don't want to play from behind. I don't think either of these teams really feel all that comfortable playing from behind, but Shrimpzuka will find the goal to go ahead here 2-1.
Great pressure by Dragon. Bob trying to do something with it, but couldn't even react in time. The forward momentum works in their favor, and Shrimpzuka, right place, right time, take the lead as we are just past the halfway point of this game. And it's, the Egoists cannot feel too much pressure. It's all on Dragon Roulette, but I'm sure they really want to close it out in 6. They do not want to take this to a game 7. They don't want to see what Dragon Roulette has in store for them.
Yeah, I mean, there is that pressure of knowing that you're in the lead and then trying not to lose a series. I mean, it's really common to just be like, you're in a spot, you're playing not to lose, you have that extra life, so you start to play a little bit differently. It's definitely something that I've seen in plenty of teams, but they have to kind of avoid that. They have to keep the comms open, but right now, Dragon Roulette, they're keeping the goal open. Plenty of space there, and Hyper, calls their own number, decides to play it across, and unfortunately doesn't have the speed to get away from Shrimpzuka there. 2-goal lead for Dragon Roulette.
Dragon Roulette definitely keeping up the pressure, and right now Egoist maybe playing a little too lax, not playing a little aggressive on their own, and right now it's all Dragon Roulette. They are controlling the tempo of this game, and Egoists are just trying everything they can to catch up. Meanwhile, but the thing is with the Egoists, it just takes one good play, one good redirect, and they're back in it. Like I said, read it like a book. The reverse caster cast, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just so happy.
That's a couple for you.
Oh my goodness.
That is a multiple for you today. I feel like every time you're talking about, it could be like, one opportunity that true Egoists, find it in them to continue to get opportunities at the net. Again, a perfect look for them, and it makes it very doable, but Dragon Roulette will look for the response here. Dragon almost gets around that at the far post, but now a little bit of a track race. Shrimpzuka stalling for time in the midfield, a good interception, and Dragon will take over. 50 in the corner, big brain. It's gonna play it in a dangerous spot across the net. Dragon is there and waiting, but won't be able to see that on target, at least for now. 30 seconds remaining, and Druigo still need one. Have to work from their own side. Wave dash here, and both players in the same spot. Maybe a little bit of a miscommunication of who would take over. Hyper up for this one. Shrimpzuka, a good touch, and now Hyper has to get past Dragon. It is a 2v1. Who will take over? They're going to go for the demo. Misses on it, and a huge play. Shrimpzuka does secure it. It will be game number 7. And that's exactly what you need in Game 7. Exactly what we all deserve here.
We definitely deserve a Game 7 with how close this match is. And, they had me believing maybe they could tie it up and take it to overtime. But Dragon Roulette, just their will is too strong, and you cannot deny the will of Dragon Roulette. You cannot deny the will of the casters, and you definitely cannot deny the will of the viewers. They want to see Game 7 Champions Field between these two teams.
Absolutely. I mean, as they should. And I think now that, again, everything is all even, I think that might bode well for True Egoists. I think they maybe got a little ahead of themselves and put so much pressure to end it in game number 6. It is now just up to one game. Keep the communication calm, continue to talk, and then you won't get yourself in a spot where you have a multiple goal lead. Dragon Roulette do not give up multiple goal leads. As soon as they find themselves in a comfortable spot, they could lock you down. Even though it might look close, they could lock you down. It was a huge stop by Shrimp Zuka there to get them to this position, because that was a targeted attack. But Brambo, it's a game 7.
Game 7, baby. What more could you want? Maybe a little overtime? Might agree. I don't know. But we'll find out as we get started. Winner take all. Whoever wins this. And right now off the bat, giving a little taste of their own medicine, it's True Egoist with a kickoff play first 10 seconds in. And who wants it more? And we will find out with 5 minutes to go, basically.
I mean, Big Brain Bob did not want to give up on that. Continued to kind of plow forward through the defense. Knew they had an opportunity, knew they had a look, and decided to go grab it. Now again, on the ball, has a little bit of time, and the flicks have been working, but Dragon will take it from him right off the car and immediately to the net. I mean, this is supreme confidence, and that worked out perfectly, just exactly how you would imagine that for Dragon Roulette.
Definitely. That's been their MO this entire series, and they do not disappoint.
Oh,
and
kickoff.
right again, another kickoff goal. Spent a little too time. Save! What a save by Bob. Crucial timing. And oh my, we thought that was in the bag for Dragon Roulette, but Bob coming out of nowhere, putting that 5-head in front of the ball and keeping this game 1-1.
Never giving up on the play, and when Big Brain Bob wants the ball and has an idea for it, they do a really good job of making sure they stick around for it, but Dragon is gonna punish that one. Both players up in the air and kind of arguing about who should take that one forward. No one gets the touch, and Dragon just waits for it calmly, patiently, and will send it back. True Egoist, they cannot, they gotta settle down. They cannot let the communication falter here in these final moments.
No, they cannot. And, it seems like a lot of Dragon Roulette's goals have just capitalized on Egoist's mistakes. That double commit or just a couple whiffs. And, I'm not saying that Roulette's not skilled, but they are just making simple, straightforward plays. They are just playing smart 2v2 Rocket League, and they make very little mistakes. And they capitalize on all the mistakes that Egoists leave for them. And it's the Egoists they're having to work to get past the Dragon Roulette defense, and they are doing it beautifully, but they gotta shore up those mistakes. They gotta not have a double commit. You can't have a double commit like that in Game 7, where everything is on the line. You want to win this champion, you're not gonna do it like that.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you kind of hit the nail on the head. Dragon Roulette, they are too skilled to give them opportunities like that. But now, opportunity, will Hyper be able to put that one on target? They will. Good recovery, and they make the most out of that 50. And now a double commit on the other side, trying to push the attack. Hyper in the right spot, the right touch at the right time, even with 2:57 left.
2:57 to go, and I cursed myself when I said they don't make a lot of mistakes, and they just go ahead and do it. And
Game 7 nerves.
Yeah, the nerves are really getting to them. And as AppBeats points out, the nerves got to me as I forgot to change what league we're in. We're in the All-Star playoffs today, not Challenger. Thank you for the point out. But nonetheless, nice to find that out. Game 7,
Absolutely. Well, right now, I mean, there's no mistake on the quality of gameplay that we are seeing here. Big Brain Bob looking for a path through. Dragon denies it early. Shrimp Zuka on the other side of this will be here now. Shot on target, but Big Brain Bob sees it the entire way. Flicks it to the midfield. It will be Hyper to take over, but overdrives it just a little bit. Staying around in the corner, calls for a little bit of help, and now bumped around. Nice pinching play, and Big Brain Bob, a little bit dangerous here. Plays it off their own corner. They have to find a way out. At least we'll get to midfield, and now Dragon Boost to go. Hyper's the only one that's going to be able to stop this.
My
It
goodness.
won't be able to do it. Dragon from the heavens will send it on through for the lead.
And with aggressive style, that's the kind of dunk that breaks the backboard. And what better timing, taking the lead with 1:40 to go. They've had a couple of good chances, and they have not been able to capitalize yet. But now they've got the lead. And can they hold it is the important part. A good bump by Shrimpzuka. No, Dragon not there to capitalize on it, though. But with possession, good pass out to Shrimpzuka. Keeping it in play, settling it down, puts it on target, gets a 50, and gets a 2-goal lead. 2 back-to-back goals for Dragon Roulette, and they are just in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, this is probably the game script going in the direction of Dragon Roulette. They got the buffer, and True Egoists have yet to really respond once they're down multiple goals. They gotta break the game script. They gotta break what we've seen so far, that consistency that Dragon Roulette have. As Shrimpzuka wants to put the nail in the coffin. Another mistouch here, and Shrimpzuka will make him pay.
Yeah, a very tough, questionable touch that puts a nice pass for Shrimpzuka, and you can start to see the ego is slowly breaking down. Once they get that, it seems like once Dragon Roulette gets that second go-ahead goal, the floodgates open and the shootout commences, and there is nothing that Egoist can do about it. Like, they're just in their heads at this point, and with a minute to go, it's a tall order to come back from that.
Yeah, it's a tilter, and True Egoist, they're going to have to get more aggressive, and it's going to leave them open on the defensive side, but you have no choice. It's Game 7. You have to go all out. You have to see what you can do in this situation. Pass off the backboard. Shrimpzuka with the clear, and every single clearance burns valuable time off the clock. Big brain Bob in the 50, and that one will kind of ricochet off here. Shrimpzuka wouldn't mind putting another one in here. That is a really good bounce, and Big Brain Bob not able to see it away. Shrimpzuka is taking over here. That'll be goal number 3 for them. 7 in total here for Dragon Roulette in Game 7.
I mean, what tenacity Dragon Roulette had to go through to get to this point. They were down at match point in Game 6. They hold on for dear life, able to get through, and then they get the go-ahead 2-goal, and then they just kind of, it's off to the races. At that point, they know they just have to outpatient their opponent, and it paid off in droves. This is the second game where they've had this kind of scoring offense on the opponent. This one was much closer for half the game at the very least, but at that point the clock strikes 0. It just has to hit the ground regardless of what happens. Maybe get a go-ahead goal or one for the road, but not quite. Dragon Roulette will take it in Game 7.
Yeah, again, this was a match that we expected to be close, and Dragon Roulette really poured it on as soon as they had that advantage. They, took basically they took a look at True Egoist, realized the danger, and decided they had to figure out a way to score in bunches. They were able to do that, and True Egoist, you have to lock off. You have to kind of take a second, realize all the wonderful things that you did here, and it's really a great game. Well played.
Well played indeed. And Shrimpzuka, even in the chat, expressing how much stress True Egoist put them through. They were not an easy opponent, and I'm sure they're walking away from that game, not feeling good that they're moving on to the next round, but definitely a little sweat, right here on that brow. Maybe need to get a towel and shake off that game.
Yeah, again, that is series 1. That is round 1, which means you have 2 more possible rounds that can go the distance. That could also give you trouble, but it could just be a good matchup here for True Egoist. that really pressed them. Again, it was a 3-2 game for them in the regular season, so it just might be that they have the ability to kind of get the best out of this team. But they will be moving on here, and excited to see what they can do in the next few rounds.
Definitely looking forward to seeing it as well. You're going to find more of them right here on the Skyward Series channel. But for now, we're going to send it over to Feisty Taquito and the gang and get their thoughts on that amazing series between Dragon Roulette and True Egoist.
All right, everybody. Welcome back. It's the desk. Your homies are here. We thought we were going to lose Wesco Cinco, but he's sticking around with us for one more game. Wesco, how did you like that series? That was a Game 7 banger of a match.
It went the distance. I knew it was going to be a really good one to watch. There's a reason they made it through the wildcard rounds. There's a reason that Roulette are top dogs, and they showed that. They won. They stood the test at Game 7, and they're going to be moving on, and good luck to whoever's facing them next.
Well, guys, as you can see, Slepless has assumed his identity. He's back. We've lost Flip Out. Flip Out is not going to be on the desk, though he's with us in spirit. He's not going to be here with us on the cast this evening. Slepless, we tried to sell it that you were Flip Out, but I mean, I think everybody knew that you weren't Flip Out.
I can't. Unfortunately, I cannot emulate the sheer masculinity that it extrudes. Not that either, but it's fine. Exudes from the mouth. Thank you, Brembo, for the word. But unfortunately, I can't quite match that. But I do try. And yes, that game was a fun one to watch. That was enjoyable. That was a kind of a masterclass, I'd say. Even though it was a Game 7, so it definitely was a close one. But that was a fun one to watch.
And I would give it over to Fraudzo over here on the desk, but we all know that, he got it wrong. His hot take was about as icy cold as it could be.
No. See, I was close. At least I wasn't completely wrong like everybody else on the desk. You might have predicted the winner, but I was close.
Nah.
That was close.
The
Copium, guys.
AFC coming in that close is crazy.
Copium. It's copium. But we don't get to stay here for very long, guys. We have the next match up. We have the next match coming up for you here in just a little bit, but what it's going to be, the match you're going to see is you're obviously going to see Dragon Roulette again. They did win that Game 7. It came close. The series came close with a number 8 wild card, taking them the full stride all the way down. But they got another challenge coming to them. Big Dreams was the team that ended up winning over on Draco's stream. They also went to a Game 7 with unknown rates. So now my prediction is actually completely wrong. So far, I've been wrong. Fraudzo is wrong. The only person that I think was right was Flip Out Slepless, who said that Dragon Roulette was going to win.
I did.
So,
I'm a huge fan.
We gotta give Slepless the roses there. Now, Wesco, I gotta ask, based off of Big Dreams and Dragon Roulette, what are we feeling about these teams so far? You've seen Dragon Roulette, and we now know that Big Dreams did go to Game 7 with unknown array. That's 2 Game 7 series on the cast for the first out of the first 4 games. How are we feeling about this one coming up?
I think it's going to be pretty much less the same. We both know that they're strong. They can go the distance. They can keep going a long series if they need to. They can battle it out. I think this one still, though, I think Roulette's going to take it over.
Okay. We have another game happening on Outlaw's stream right now. Of course, he gets his Striker boys. Striker Phase taking on Wet Whiners happening over on NJ Outlaw. If we get a shout out for him one more time. But gotta ask the rest of the desk. So Cinco says Dragon Roulette, based off the series we just watched, is going to take this next series going into the grand finals. Slep, I'm just gonna assume you're rocking Roulette.
You already know. As I've stated yesterday, my entire basis goes off how often I put you in the stat graphics, and Dragon Roulette is top in the stat graphics every week of Skyward Series. So massive props to them. I'm going Dragon Roulette all the way.
All right, and Fraudzo, help me out here. Help me out.
I'm gonna be honest. As a team that I have played against personally, I think Unknown Airrav is gonna take to game 5.
They're already out. Your wild take. You're
Oh,
already
wait.
out.
Big dreams, big dreams. Big dreams
Okay,
taking it to game
okay.
5.
Okay, there we go. We got Franzo exposing himself, not even looking at the sheet, not even listening.
And then, okay, hear me out. Striker phase, swept out.
Swept?
Washed out. Washed.
Are we?
Just so you know, the currently
do
is
you
losing.
see Cinco's face? Look at that eyebrow, bro.
Exactly. And just so you know, Franzo, as you said that, IC is sad to score a double tap on Wet Winers, and they're up 3-1 in game 1. So I don't know about that one.
See, here's the thing. Here's the thing. I don't need to cheat to know the results. I already see the future.
Man, I like Cinco. I know you don't. I know you don't get on this cast like this, but like, what? This is what we deal with, bro.
Exactly. It's tough. It's tough with Franzo around. Honestly, I'm all for demotion.
Props to him enough though. He got yesterday, right?
He did. But I'm getting word we are ready to go down to the pitch. So let's throw it back over to the handsome, wonderful casters that have been taking you through this weekend so far. Brambo, it's over to you.
Thank you, Feisty. And we are ready to go with our next matchup, Dragon Roulette against Big Dreams. Now, Dragon Roulette, I mean, they just had a nasty Game 7. How do you think they're able to, quickly go from that series to this one?
Well, yeah, it's all about, how players can mentally reset. And I think the wonderful thing for them here is their opponents just got off of a Game 7. So they also have a little bit to do in terms of kind of getting that mental reset. But both of these teams, they're new opponents. They have not played each other in the duration of this season. So excited to see this will be maybe their first look. Not sure if they've scrimmed together or scrimmed against each other at all. But, both of these teams will kind of be, having a similar story here in terms of having to go the distance. It could be something that, that it takes a mental toll here. But right now, both these teams trying to start quickly. They're starting aggressively as well as a shot near post. Shrimzuka not looking to slow down at all. Again, multiple demos to open this one up. A bump at the end by Dragon, and Shrimzuka will take that one all day.
The Executioner gets the added insult on getting the goal as well. I mean, could you get a more toxic goal than that? Bumping out the entire team and then just dunking it on the defender and getting a goal for the first goal in the series. I mean, you can't get any better than that.
Yeah, so I mean, Dragon Roulette there, it's a little bit of a different style. We haven't seen them go to that demo heavy style necessarily. They've just kind of been, opening up the defense through the 50s, but now they're really trying to get aggressive. And for the new names on this stream, Jericho and Buttons the Cat, they have to, keep their heads on a swivel because it doesn't look like there's any stoppage in how they're going to play this. But a quick opportunity, Jericho trying to keep their speed up, but Shrimzuka will cover that back line. Good rotation there and a good 50. Waterfall down, it'll be a tough read, and unfortunately trying to push out the attacker, and that'll be an own goal, I believe, on Buttons.
A great dunk by Shrimzuka, and I think Shrimzuka kind of forced that play because he was going after the ball, and like we saw yesterday, instead of looking at the ball, you looked at the player and not realizing where you are, you're in prime position to shoot that instead of save it. And Dragon Roulette warmed up. You definitely say they're warmed up, after going through 7 games, and so is Big Dreams, but definitely Dragon Roulette coming out swinging in game number 1, 2-0.
Possible attack here for the Big Dreams, looking for a little bit of a response, but not gonna be long-lived. Shrimzuka all the way down the field. Not a lot of boost, but a good demo. Where does the ball end up? It ends up directly into the blue net. That is picking your moment well. Jericho slides right on through the defender there and gets the ball on target. 2-1 here, 3:06.
Well, at least we know the Big Dreams are not going to go the way of the Big Egoists, as you know, once Dragon Roulette got a 2-goal lead at any point, it was over at that point. So they're keeping them within 1. They're ready to scrap with this team, but great save by Buttons the Cat. Reflexes like him as well, able to make the stop and keep this game within 1, and now hops over the defense, going for the catnip, and gets the goal.
Yeah, and a little bit of confusion there. I think that one of the defenders, I think it was Dragon, expected their teammate to get demoed by Jericho on the run, so they decided that ball was theirs. Both of the players survived and took a jump, and unfortunately, both got chipped. Big Dreams, they are back in it, and they are dreaming bigger than ever. Jericho now with the ball in the corner. Dragon a little bit of space to shoot. Top spins right underneath the bar. It is crossbar and down here for Dragon Roulette.
Great shot by Dragon. A laser right past Buttons. I guess that catnip's starting to affect him now. He's a little slow on the play. And now Dragon Roulette resume their position as leaders in this game number 1. Only out of it for a couple seconds. Looking to get another 2-goal lead back, but just wide off the top. Dragon settling it down. Shrimpsuka trying to put some pressure. Jericho makes the stop. Shrimpsuka having to go backwards, but not seeing Buttons the Cat. Didn't see those glowing eyes off in the corner. And now Shrimpsuka really questioning why he was even there. I mean, you wouldn't necessarily expect the opposing player being that deep when you have possession of the ball. So it's a reasonable expectation, but it works in the way of Big Dreams. But Shrimpsuka almost getting that one back, but the shot goes wide, and we still remain 3-3.
A little bit of space here, and they've been really hitting the top of the net, so they're feeling a little bit dangerous as we get into the final 2 minutes of play. Dragon will kind of corral that to the corner. Jericho, nice pass, Buttons the shot, but it will be well defended there by Dragon, kind of parries it away. Buttons re-aggresses here, ball to the corner. Dragon won't let that bounce anywhere, and now a little bit of open space, shot near post, and that's just in. Jericho, unfortunately, not able to respawn in a good spot to even get a look. I'm not even sure that they would have had time there. And Dragon picks their moment in a clear shot. They're going for precision here in the final minute 32.
Definitely precision. And, you know, even without that demo, I think Big Dreams were in a tough spot, regardless with how Dragon had that shot. And right now, looking to get a quick counterattack and equalizer, and Shrimpsuka says, nah, bro, I'm going to get a 2-goal lead back. Trying to get a shot, sends it wide again, but Buttons will corral it for now. Gets the 50. It's going quite on net, just a little wide, and Jericho puts it center. Dragon with a clear goes directly to Buttons, and now is on the offensive, gets it over the defender, and Jericho gets the equalizer.
Jericho looking really speedy there. I think Dragon expected that they had maybe 1 more second to kind of see that away to the far post and hit it to the corner. But Jericho, you know, kind of entering the blind spot, so to speak, and getting a goal to equal. Less than a minute left. And now Shrimpsuka on the attack, looking for the pinch, but won't be able to get it past the defense.
Yeah, definitely the blind spot. You know, it's tough when, you know, you've got these cars that don't have rear view mirrors. You can't see the players behind you, and you can't see Dragon corralling that ball into the net, past the defense, past one, just speeding past the other. And Dragon just too quick for Big Dreams defense.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Buttons is kind of trying to bait that shot. They're expecting that to go somewhere, but maybe not expecting the speed on that one. And now they'll be fighting from behind it again. Jericho will get the first look at this one and forces it high. Shrimpsuka trying to dribble drive to the net. 2v1 for the moment. Both players go. Shrimpsuka has an open look, but doesn't have the best touch available. 15 seconds. Buttons the Cat goes high. Dragon will be able to at least parry it aside for now. Jericho needs a touch. Shrimzuko will still be right behind it. Shot towards the target, and it's all up to Buttons. Can they keep it up from the corner? It should hit the ground here. Buttons trying to keep it alive. Jericho now has a little bit of boost and needs a little bit of help. They're trying to keep it up, trying to stay underneath it, but Dragon Roulette will continue the presence, will continue to put pressure on and take game number 1.
In a much more dominating fashion than they have in the entire series. Not in the entire series of last one, but they, definitely a much stronger shootout than they had in previous games. It was much closer. They played a much different playstyle, as you noted in the start of the game. It was they played a little further back, against the previous opponent. Now they're just putting out the aggression. They're forcing the teams to make mistakes.
Yeah, I think they feel a lot more comfortable when they are kind of in charge of how they want to attack. We've seen Dragon and Shrimzuka, and I think Shrimzuka specifically in this, when they're on the ball and when they're playing fast, Shrimzuka does a really good job of picking their moments and picking apart the defense. And when Dragon is shooting the way that they are, like right underneath the bar, top right corner, it is a really hard offense to stop. But credit to Big Dreams. Big Dreams did have some opportunities there where they did come back into that one. They were able to kind of keep up, and it felt a little similar in the way where it did to True Egoist, where it was who has the last possession and who has enough time on the clock. And for that one, it was Dragon Roulette. But I have faith that Big Dreams here will come up with a response.
Definitely. As close as that game was, there's definitely room for Big Dreams. But as we know, Dragon Roulette are definitely a momentum team, and once they have it, it's going to be hard to let go. I'm kind of wondering, we haven't seen Big Dreams on this stream yet. We don't know, clearly they went to a game 7 with their previous opponent, but they haven't gone against the 1 seed. But I don't think they're deterred, as Button the Cat's climbing his way off the ceiling, able to just put a sinker into the net. And I don't think Shrimzuka really expected a shot like that.
Yeah, I think the view Shrimzuka had, they're expecting that one to hit off the bar and down maybe. So they're kind of standing pat, waiting for the follow-up touch to make sure there isn't any follow-up shooter, and that just sinks down into the net, and your heart sinks with it because you're like, I watched that the whole way down. Dragon Roulette now looking for some options here as Dragon in the corner, straight down, but it should be Jericho to kind of send that one away. Shrimzuka has really been looking great on the day in this series and the previous one, and but they'll have to kind of craft some more room here as Big Dreams have really come up with some great responses defensively.
Definitely, and some great offensive chances too, as it goes bar down, but not in from their own zone. A great shot, a good fake by Jericho, has one to beat, sends a little soft shot, and Shrimzuka makes an easy save. Had a good look, but just couldn't quite get it on top of their car. But has another opportunity, but can't get there fast enough. Both players without boost, but Shrimzuka able to get the wave dash faster, and now thwarts the offensive attempt. Now going for a centering pass of his own, but Jericho with the bicycle hit gets the denial. For now, Dragon putting an offensive chance, with Jericho able to get back in time, puts it into the corner, gets it past Shrimzuka. Dragon, though, with the dunk, having to reset now is Big Dreams with a shot, gets the 50, it's slow rolling into the net, just a little wide, and Shrimzuka gets the clear and keeps them within 1.
Buttons another shot here, and it's really going to be testing the defense. Dragon Roulette passing with flying colors so far, but how long can they survive? Now passing out of the defense, options in the middle, but Dragon calls their own number, shot high and wide to the right. Dragon will turn yet again, buying time for their teammate. Another demo kind of on the other side, I think. That one away from the play, and Dragon left alone. Will demo one in response, and it is getting a little bit physical there, a little bit messy so to speak, as both of these teams trying to keep the advantage and really keep both attacking sides undermanned.
Yeah, definitely an interesting strategy, and it's one when you change it up in the middle of the game when there's not really a lot of tempo changes. It definitely throws it off, but you know, they matched to suit. They just started demoing themselves. They're able to easily adapt, and not able to adapt to that change-up shot. I mean, I don't know what they're expecting, but Shrimpsuka just gets a little bit of a tap and just enough to thwart Buttons the Cat from any shot. And finally, Dragon Roulette gets the equalizer. They have been knocking at that door for quite some time.
That was absolutely gorgeous. I mean, it's like adding spin to the layup on the backboard. I don't think that ball was naturally going to go in, but the flip reset added just a bit more spin towards the net and sends that one away.
That's the finger roll. That's the finger roll.
Shrimpsuka will get another one and doesn't need the finger roll there. Just sends that one. The sky hook, maybe unstoppable, that shot.
From the finger roll to the cannon, 96 kilometers per hour, a laser to the net, and doesn't need to soft touch that one, like you said. 2-1, and the Dragon Roulette roll ball keeps rolling, and another wide open net. A panicked defense able to make the stop at the last second. Can they get a counterattack? Got to pass one. Shrimpsuka with the dunk off the backboard. Waterfall down. Jericho gets the stop, takes it off the wall, tries again for the counterattack, clears it into the corner. Dragon will take it and corral it, but centers it down. Able to flick it over Buttons the Cat, though, and now going for a counterattack of their own. Nice center, though. Intercepted, though, by Jericho. Buttons the Cat clears it. Jericho chasing in suit. Gets interrupted by Shrimpsuka, and now Jericho with possession, slowly putting it down to Buttons, but Shrimpsuka quick to the chase, but not quicker than Buttons the Cat.
Yeah, I think right now that we're seeing that Big Dream's a lot more comfortable when they have boost in the tank. They are putting a little bit of pressure. Jericho, it's a tough angle to get around it, maybe trying to set up Buttons, and we'll take another look at it. Buttons has to retreat for now as Dragon behind the ball. Less than 15 seconds, good flick, and now they'll be responsible to kind of get an offensive attack going in the final 10 seconds. Shrimpsuka not going to give up this ball easily and is going to try and bait out the challenge. It is there, and now Buttons the Cat cannot capitalize on that one. It is cut out by Dragon, and game number 2 will also go to Dragon Roulette.
Dragon Roulette, you know, maybe they just got the rusty game out of the way, looking in fine form. These games are close, but it's Dragon Roulette that's able to finish it out. And when you've got the finishing power like that, I mean, it's a tip of a scale. It's a fine line, but they are holding it strong right now.
Yeah, I think they have just a little bit more control in this series, and I think the way that they're doing it is by grabbing the boost of their opponents. I think they're really starving them out in key moments. That's keeping Big Dreams, you know, kind of gasping for air on their side and getting those big booming clearances that Dragon Roulette are able to kind of send directly back into the zone. So they feel really comfortable right now. Big Dreams, they still have dangerous things that they're sending onto target, but their opportunities are getting less and less as the game goes on, just because they don't have the boost, and it leaves it to the final moment where it's like they realize they don't have enough time to really get back into the game. It's becoming again these final moments where it's like, oh, we only have 30 seconds to mount an attack here, so they have to try and get a lead and hold on to it here. Otherwise, Dragon Roulette will kind of continue to suffocate them as this game goes on.
Definitely, they've got to find a different strategy. One thing is for sure, they definitely have to shore up that defense right now. A couple of the goals were off of defensive mistakes, and you know, those are easily fixed. I say easily. I mean, I think some of the plays are forced by Dragon Roulette, but you know, sometimes when you're trying to play that aggressive, and I mean, that's the kind of mistakes you got to shore up. And Dragon, with an easy midfield shot, just puts it on target, a double commit. And that's the kind of mistakes you got to prevent. Otherwise, Dragon Roulette, they sniff those out immediately and they go for it and they get the benefit. 1-0.
Yeah, Big Dreams, they have to figure out when there's value in sending the house and when there's value in making sure you have one back just for one of those moments. And again, it was a crowded challenge that they really tried to force through and force the hand of Dragon Roulette, and it did not work out there. And now you're giving a team who, you know, defends a lead quite well a little bit more baggage. And again, it's a similar situation where you're sending multiple players when you don't necessarily need to. They have an opportunity to score. It will be sent astray, but you're kind of looking at this one thinking, we can't keep on attacking like this. We have to find a little bit of patience. But Buttons in a position to shoot, won't be able to get the ball. Now up top, a little bit of boost to work with, but won't really be able to see anything go there. Good shot from Jericho, and that is the response they needed, finding a little bit of an opening there from that clear ball, and that's the equalizer they need.
Yeah, an uncharacteristic positioning error by Shrimpzuka leads to a wide shot by Jericho and the equalizer. They're able to capitalize on the mistakes that Dragon Roulette makes, but oh my goodness, Dragon! What is he doing to this team? He is finding every single mistake that Big Dreams is making, and just like he is like shooting it from downfield, from the opposite side of the net, and just lasering these goals. He's got a magnet to the ball.
Yeah, I mean, that's a testing shot. That's testing the defense and making sure their positioning is good. And I think Buttons maybe a little bit of a wider rotation because they're looking for the boost and looking for an advantage there, and just gets caught in looking in the backfield. But Jericho catches the other side of this one, playing quick. And when Jericho gets going, I think they really find some good opportunities. Gets the boost, arrow shots to kind of find a good angle there, and keeping them in this game 2-2.
If they could only shore up those defensive gaps that they're leaving, they would be up 2-0, because right now they are putting the pressure on Dragon Roulette, but they are gifting goals back to them in return. I mean, you know, it's good for the content. It's definitely good for, you know, the storyline, but if you're Big Dreams or a fan of Big Dreams, you definitely don't want to see them gifting the goals away just for funsies.
Well, plenty of time for goals here, as Jericho might have found an opening, keeps it high and away from Shrimpzuka, but Shrimpzuka will be able to catch up. Buttons now going 2v1, decides to retreat for now and let the cavalry arrive. We'll turn back on it. Another challenge, 50-50. We'll just stalemate in that corner. Now Jericho having to be defensive here, trying to keep in front of this one. And you really can't give any player too much space on the field. I feel like everyone seems very proficient when they have a little bit of time to work with the ball here. And in the final 2 minutes, we're going to get plenty of opportunities on both sides. Dragon will put it in, and just a little bit of room, and Dragon will take a mile on this one.
Yeah, just a little too quick to the play, and just like the previous 2 goals, a hat trick, by the way, for Dragon, just finding the gaps, the smallest gaps on the defensive rotations and exploiting it for all it's worth. 3 goals is for Dragon Roulette, and right now it is Dragon. The emphasis on Dragon for that, but as I say it, Caster Curse comes alive. Shrimpzuka, not to be ignored in this series, finds a hole, splits the defense in the shot, and takes a 2-goal lead with 2 minutes remaining in game number 3.
The curses are potent by you today. I mean, you've been absolutely on top of it. You're hoping, if you're watching this, that Brambo says a few more things about your team to really inspire them to greatness and materialize it right in front of your eyes. And Big Dreams need to materialize a few more goals here as they're, looking to kind of get some momentum back in this series. Buttons in the midfield, a good beat to the corner, but now it's going to be a race to see if they can get the shot. Jericho just away from that one as Dragon on the side wall, looking to go it alone. Backboard not quite available. And now a quick 2v1 opportunity, but Shrimpzuka will not be beaten now on the other side. Looking to kind of get this central and will just take it themselves. Wonderful little cut right in front of the goal line, and they'll extend it to 5.
My goodness, this Dragon Roulette team is coming to life. You've got Dragon on one side who is just too quick for both of these Big Dream players, and now you've got Shrimpzuka coming in and just carrying the ball slowly past the defense and just flicking it over them. I mean, is there anything that Big Dreams can do to stifle this momentum that Dragon Roulette has?
Yeah, I think right now they really want to make sure that they are putting quality shots on target. I think the corners haven't really been working for him here, so I'd love to see him go a little bit more to the backboard, try and make this a game in the air where they can take advantage of it. Buttons make me look smart here. There we go, the full court carry, and Buttons will just go and kind of dive bomb into the goal. That's exactly what we need to see. I do think they have some advantages when they take it to the skies.
Definitely, and I'm so proud to see your own caster curse come to life, and I'm not the only one.
Yeah.
I know, it's just like a proud papa. I'm just so happy. But Big Dreams not happy yet. Take a shot for Jericho just wide. Shrimpzuka going for the counterattack, pressured by Buttons the Cat. 20 seconds to go. Dragon puts it on target. Actually, I take it back, just wide, and Buttons pushing it on further, gets demoed out of the play. Just what they need to stall the time. Shrimpzuka putting it on net. Jericho forced to make a save, followed up by Shrimpzuka. And in the final 3 seconds, I think that it is too little too late as the clock strikes 0. Just has to hit the ground. Dragon Roulette on match point.
Yeah, now all of the work for them to do here, and it's really on the score sheet, like, you kind of looking at this, there's so many things that are even here. The shots, kind of in favor of Dragon Roulette, but like in terms of possession, field domination, the boost, it's not that different. The touches aren't even that. It's just that Dragon Roulette, they're making the most of their opportunities. They're very efficient on the ball. In Big Dreams, they just have to find a way to slow down the pace. They have to find ways to get, to find those connections, because there's some really potent shots that they do come up with, but they just need to get that final bit to kind of really back up Dragon Roulette. There's so much confidence on this side right now.
Yeah, and it's a similar story in the previous series where, the opposing team of Dragon Roulette has so much shot potential and skill potential in their goals that they have scored, but it's Dragon Roulette who just sits back, waits for an opportunity, and takes it. I mean, they do have the skill, the mechanics to do those quality shots, but they don't need to. They don't need to. They just wait for the opponent to just give them the opportunity, and they do. It's worked in both series, and it's worked way better in this series than in the previous.
Yeah, well, I think now they've kind of afforded themselves the opportunities to not get too desperate, where they could really pick their moments. And Shrimpzuka, a little bit of boost, but Buttons covers that one well. Now, in Big Dreams, really move as a unit here. Jericho will get a little bit of space to move in and get a goal. And if Big Dreams can get this player going, Jericho, the walls may come tumbling down here for Dragon Roulette.
Definitely, and I love the pun, and I appreciate it. Got to keep them coming. And I've been a little lax on them tonight, so hopefully I can get warmed up. But Shrimpzuka able to get it over one defender, but Buttons the Cat makes the stop, forced to forced it into the corner, pressured by Shrimpzuka. 50 goes back towards in Shrimpzuka's favor, and look at Bardowski as he ties the game up in stride.
I mean, there's absolutely nothing that Buttons can do there, because they're doing work in that side wall. They're getting the challenge, and then as soon as the ball kind of gets away from them, they think their job's over. Their teammate gets demoed, and now they have to get back. And Jericho, is relying on the spawn to try and put them in the right spot. But Dragon Roulette picked their moment great, and Shrimpzuka will get another goal as a result. But still tied up here, and Big Dreams want to get a little bit of momentum, lest we see Dragon Roulette try and run away with it here.
Dragon Roulette trying everything they can, and for that last play, it feels like it's Shrimpzuka's world, and we're just living in it. And for now, it seems like Shrimpzuka, last game it was Dragon. He was everywhere. He was a step ahead of Big Dreams every time. Now it's Shrimpzuka, who is just anywhere and everywhere. You cannot escape this guy unless he's got the ball. You can't get away from him. And now, but it's still 1-1. With all that being said about Dragon Roulette, it's like Dragon Roulette controls most of the game, and then all of a sudden Big Dreams comes and just catches them off guard and gets an opportunity. But as I said, Buttons the Cat reflexes, gets the stop, gets the counterattack, and gets the go-ahead goal. Like I was just saying, they show flashes of brilliance. They just come out of nowhere, catch Dragon Roulette off guard, and now they have the lead.
Yeah, I mean, for Dragon Roulette, they put all of the chips into that attack, because, I mean, it was really a great opportunity.
Ooh.
And off the kickoff, Jericho puts it directly under the bar. It was a good cheating play. Dragon just went to the corner, so unable to really assist in that one. And Big Dreams has a multiple goal lead, I believe, for the first time in this series.
It is indeed the first time in the series, and Big Dreams giving Dragon Roulette a little taste of their own medicine on the kickoff plays. Not really expecting it either, as you mentioned. Dragon off to the corner, expecting a normal kickoff play, and now Big Dreams can breathe a little bit of a sigh of relief.
Wow.
Maybe they don't have to, go all out, maybe double commit, but maybe they do, as they have another opportunity. Jericho gets a pass, Shrimpzuka, and they extend their lead to 3 in this crucial game for Big Dreams.
That is, unfortunately, the replay does not show the absolute battle that Buttons the Cat was having in the corner. Dragon trying to find a little bit of space. It was like they kept going back and forth, and eventually Buttons had the ball and able to send that central. And now I think they're starting to give him a few headaches when they're staying close to the play. Shrimpzuka now relying on Dragon, get the clearance here. Jericho, light touch into the corner. Dragon finding some room, not a ton of boost. And Shrimpzuka now takes over. Button will have to keep this on target, and Dragon, light touch, follow up, will be near post and not on target. Shrimpzuka trying to get around to it and will be denied. Less than 2 minutes left, and still plenty of room for Big Dreams to kind of take hold of here.
Definitely want to maintain this pressure. They don't want to give Dragon Roulette any opportunity to crawl back in this game, because they know Dragon Roulette could quickly score 3 goals. There's plenty of time left for them. They need to keep this pressure up. They cannot relent at all. Jericho puts a shot over Shrimpzuka just wide. Dragon trying to follow suit, bumped out of the play. Shrimpzuka, though, keeps it momentum forward, goes towards the goal, tries to get a second bump, denied by Jericho. Dragon, though, respawns, and now trying to settle it down, but loses possession. Buttons the Cat clears it into the blue zone. Doesn't get the read, but pushed back into the blue corner. Dragon waiting for it. Now trying to get it past one. Sort of gets it past Jericho, but it actually goes directly to Buttons the Cat, who only has one to beat, but Shrimpzuka standing tall in that defensive zone for now. And Shrimpzuka, the only one on the field left, as Dragon was boomed. No shot, though, as Jericho sends it wide. Now, Dragon, time, clicking, so slowly. They can't get a stop, but finally Shrimpsuka gets the dunk and puts them within 2 for 36 seconds left in the game.
Yeah, good read here, and you're just absolutely sending, hoping for the best there. Good positioning, and we're going to see Dragon Roulette absolutely nothing to lose here. They're going to start sending full-out attacks to see if they can make something happen. In the final 30 seconds, Demo opens up just a little bit of space. Shrimpsuka will take their attempt, but a good block. Jericho on the run will get it to go 5-2. And a nice little inverse here for Big Dreams. Now they are on the side of kind of getting a little bit of space, so run away goal scoring opportunity, and most likely a Game 4 win for them here.
Definitely, most likely. And like you said, a great point out that they were going to start sending everything they had, just no regard, because they're up 3 games. Even if they lose this game, it doesn't quite matter. And they weren't able to capitalize on it. And I mean, they were able to capitalize it on there as a kind of an own goal from Big Dreams. But again, I think unless I don't know. Actually, Dragon beats him to the punch. They just beats him to the punch. I mean, just so quick to the play. But barring a kickoff breakdown, yeah, it definitely, we're going to make this a series, and Big Dreams take their first win in this best of 7.
Yeah, looked really good, and I think they had plenty of plays where they got to Dragon Roulette early in their setup and gave the player behind a much better look at the ball to take advantage and kind of move forward. Also, Buttons getting a lot more touches that go into dangerous spots. I think, it was Jericho that had a few more touches on ball in the previous game, and it seemed like it was inverse, where it was like 68 to 40, and now Buttons kind of taking a little bit more of that command, a lot more saves, and kind of keeping that ball out of danger, where Dragon Roulette aren't able to get that second, third opportunity to kind of cycle back through. So again, still plenty of shots by Dragon Roulette, but I don't think they were in as dangerous of a situation for extended periods of time, because they've been looking for the boost, they've been looking for ways to get out, and they were able to do so here.
Definitely, and I just think that this is the time for, Big Dreams. Maybe they're a team that likes, when the game is like the pressure is on, like they cannot make a single mistake. We've seen teams do that in the last playoffs. We saw Astral do it all the way to the end, and I mean, they did lose in the grand finals, but they did get pretty far with that kind of team strat. But Shrimpsuka off the kickoff bounces it over Jericho. Jericho able to recover though and make the stop. Ooh, a hairy situation in the first 15 seconds of game number 5 at this point.
Yeah, 5.
I'm losing track. I just want so many more of these games. Another shot off the bar and out. Buttons the Cat able to recover. Has no boost though. Still able to get it past one defender. Trying to flick it past Shrimpsuka, but with plenty of boost on Shrimpsuka's side, able to handle that with ease. Jericho settling it at the midfield. Dragon takes it from him. Now going for a second shot, just out of reach. Good center though, but Shrimpsuka doesn't take the bait. Knows that they have a prime opportunity to counter. And now they're going for their chance. Dragon clears it downfield. Shot off the mark. Shrimp off the far wall. Gets the touch back to himself. Buttons the Cat in prime position to stop that. Back into play off the backboard. Cleared to the far wall, where Buttons will go for boost, leaving it for Jericho. Able to beat Dragon. Not before beating Shrimp though. Or trying to beat Shrimp, but a little miscue on the play, a little overreaching, and Shrimpsuka gets the prize and the lead in game number 5.
Yeah, this game started off with a little bit of an awkward kickoff, and it seems like it kind of continued there for Big Dreams. I think Jericho just unfortunately didn't quite get the turn that they're looking for to get behind that ball, and Shrimpsuka able to send it on target. And Big Dreams, they kind of want to get back to a comfortable thing. I think the restart will do them well here. But now, again, from behind. Will they be able to kind of right the ship when they need to here? Buttons the Cats will look to start this attack. But again, very quickly sent off, and I don't think Dragon Roulette want to mess with that at all. They are going to go for these big clearances and hope that they could kind of take advantage of any mistake that is made.
Definitely. And, you know, now, I mean, there's still plenty of time left. Let's be honest. There's plenty of time left. It's a 1-0 game. Dragon Roulette have not run away with this yet, but they're definitely trying to grasp that control. They're trying to, you know, dictate the pace of it. But another double commit. Can Shrimp capitalize? He does. And it's that patient game that Dragon Roulette is playing, and you can tell that, you know, Big Dreams, they've got him, and they're shooting for the stars, but they're only finding it's a meteor, and it hits them square in the face, and now they're down by 2.
It's just that patient. It's so very tempting to try and help out your teammate when you feel like, you know, maybe they lost a little bit of the air dribble. You feel like you could get to the ball quicker and kind of help extend the play, as Buttons shot underneath both defenders and will get that one to go, and at least gets them one more back. But they have to find moments like these when you know you have the clear opportunity, you have the net, you know, undermanned. It is, you know, those opportunities, you have to pick your moments. I think Big Dreams are much more aware of where those moments are. They just have to kind of act against some of their first instincts to try and help and make sure that they kind of force through the defense. They're not going to get through Dragon Roulette like that.
No, they are not. But, you know, they're able to get past them once. They got to go back to the sky. We mentioned before in game number 1, like, they have a lot of luck when they get those aerial opportunities, and Dragon Roulette just doesn't seem to have an answer for it yet. But Big Dreams haven't been able to go to the sky very often, especially in this game 5. And now it's you know, the clock's winding down, the pressure's mounting, and they have a chance. Bar down, it's dangling. Shrimpsuka pinches it out and keeps their lead for now. Great shot by Jericho, but just not enough to go in. And you know they are kicking themselves right now after seeing that almost go in.
Man, the curse did not work for that one. We're talking about the aerial play. A shot from the sidewall, just barely, you know, on the line. I'm sure that they would have wanted that to, you know, a strong wind to blow at that moment to give them just a little bit more. But now it is down to the minute. They have to score a goal to stay alive in this game and in this series, because it is Dragon Roulette on triple match point. Shrimpsuka trying to buy as much time as possible in the corner. It will be Dragon. Just a little bit of reassurance there as the reinforcements arrive to buy more time. Shrimpsuka back onto the ball. Dragon will get a shot on target, and Buttons will save it away for now. 30 seconds. Dragon trying to keep presence on this ball. Doesn't want anything unexpected to happen here. Buttons to the midfield. Jericho has to take a shot near post, and Shrimpsuka will see that away for now. Maybe only one more opportunity for Big Dreams, and it will be the final moment. Buttons plays that over to Dragon from the corner. Shrimp looking for a big touch and will get the clear. Jericho will have to go coast to coast, and unfortunately the touch just a little too heavy. Dragon Roulette will snuff it out there. They take it in game 5.
My, oh my, what a clincher. It was a close final game, but it is Dragon Roulette that are victorious. They advance on to the finals. The number 1 seeds are just running a tear on these playoff brackets, but can Dragon Roulette do what FFE couldn't do yesterday and win in the grand finals?
Yeah, I think they're poised to be in that position, and it's a a kind of style of play that I think translates really well into what they want to do. When they have a lead, they know how to protect it. And that's such a huge thing, especially when, now you're getting into a portion of the game, a portion of the night where you're in the grand finals. Everything just has that much more weight as you go there. But again, excited. Hopefully we get an extended series here, because right now, very excited with all of the Rocket League that we've seen tonight.
Definitely. It wasn't a sweep, so we got a little bit of extra. We already got a game 7. Maybe we can get a game 7 grand final overtime. That would be the dream, for me and you, Cobra. I know you want to see that as well. You want to see two teams battling out, but let's take it to the desk and Feisty and see what these guys think about that series.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome back. Oh, we have lost one person. It seems we only have a 3-person desk. Slep has left us, and we are now graced by the beautiful Bezo. Again, Bezo looks a little different. He's a little different than normal, but it's Bezo, guys. The takes are crazy. They're still there. It's still the same guy. We also have a brand new face with us here, Crouton Dust. Welcome to the desk. How has your evening been?
Listen, I know I was just barely able to catch the tail end of that Dragon Roulette game, but let me tell you, I've had the distinct pleasure of watching both of the Striker FaZe games back to back. They swept twice, and they looked really good doing it.
I just want to say that I am so happy that you've been here this whole weekend. And I am so glad that you had to work with Outlaw as well. I hope you had tons of fun. What did you think about Striker FaZe? Do you really think that they have come this far to lose, or do you think Dragon Roulette is absolutely going down?
So if you're talking to me, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, okay,
absolutely,
listen, if you don't mind, I would like to make a little bit of an early prediction here. I mean,
okay.
I can't see a world in which Striker FaZe does not 4-0 Dragon Roulette right now. They are so hot. I mean, I just watched Icy. It was not a semifinals match. It was a clip show. Icy and Kodo. I mean, every time Icy went up with that ball, it turned into a crazy double, a flip reset. I mean, the guy's on fire. Me and Outlaw, we were feeling it from the casting booth, just the heat coming off the field. It was insane. That Striker FaZe is ridiculous.
Okay. Now I've got to ask Mr. Crazy Take Bezo, sitting way far away from the camera, way back in the back, got the hood up. He's big chillaxing over there. Bezo, I mean, what are we thinking?
You know me. I mean, I'm a Striker FaZe all the way. It's the only way it can go. I don't see any other possibility where they take it. It's 4-0. I'll say it's 3-0. It could be 2-0. It really depends. I'm feeling like I think it's a perfect sweep. Like I'm maybe a 5-0 even. Like it depends on how they're feeling. Honestly, this could go anyway. But like anyway, besides the loss for Striker FaZe.
So I mean, we're just gonna play a best of 9. They're going 5-0.
I think it's gonna keep going.
We're just gonna play a best of 3. We're gonna play
encapsulating that just like no one's gonna leave. I'm just gonna keep being clipped on. It's just over.
All right, Crouton, you've got support from Bezo impersonator, the Fraudzo over there.
Yeah.
I just we had 3-0 yesterday from Bezo on the desk. Now we've got a 2-0, a 4-0, a 3-0, and a 5-0.
7-0 actually.
7-0. All right, we've got the new one. 7-0 is in. I don't understand. I want to say that Dragon Roulette has a chance to at least do something, because you guys are hyping this FaZe team up like they're the 2 hottest all-star 2v2 players that ever touched the pitch for Skyward Series. So, I mean, they're bringing the heat, but we've been watching Dragon Roulette bring the heat all stream. So, I'm gonna be the different one here. I gotta say Dragon Roulette. Y'all are saying FaZe. I'm gonna go Dragon Roulette by myself.
I don't know about that one.
If you don't mind, allow me to try to change your mind on this one, right? You weren't there when Icy and Kodo brutalized 2 teams just an hour and 2 hours ago, respectively. I'm scarred for life watching them go. They went 10 up in game 3. 10-0. They shut them out 10-0. There was a Brazil. There was bumps. There was demos. There was mechs. I mean,
Hey,
I got a
listen,
headache.
I'm just gonna say this. I'm gonna stick to my position, my prediction. And just so we're all clear, hold on, guys. Just so we're all clear, Brambo did say no. You don't get to say that in chat. You don't get to say that in chat. I don't think so, Brambo. You don't get to abandon the prediction. Brambo agrees with the Bezo prediction. So Brambo agrees with the 2-0, 4-0, 5-0, 6-0, 7-0. I mean, he agrees with it. I know he does. He can't back. We're not going to let him back out of this one. But what we are going to do, Crouton Dust, I know the desk was limited with you. I know you just joined us for this one. But we're actually just going to go ahead. We're going to throw it back to Brambo and Cobra. Take us through this last final game, guys. It's going to be Dragon Roulette trying to take down Striker FaZe. Both teams have ran the tournament so far. Brambo, it's back to you.
Now you just hold on a second here, Feisty. I can repent for my sins. I admit that I was a believer in the prediction god, falso, and I was a believer, but I have to repent. I take it back. I'm going with my own predictions. I went with the safe bet yesterday with 18 would win, but I gotta say, my underlying, I am a big fan of Striker FaZe. We've seen them plenty of times in the 1UP gaming tournaments. They can wreck teams. They look really good, and we've seen a lot of Dragon Roulette. And you and I both know, Cobra, what Striker FaZe is capable of. And after seeing Dragon Roulette, do you think, that the desk is right? They're rooting for Striker FaZe at this point.
Listen, I wish I could have seen the play, because I do trust Crouton quite a bit, because when he talks the way that he talks, there's not many teams where he's able to say that, elicit that kind of response from him, where he's scarred for life on how the games have went. But I mean, Striker FaZe is the kind of offensive talent that can give a team like Dragon Roulette problems. And I'm trying to be as unbiased as possible, because Striker FaZe was my pick. It's kind of the team that I expected to be in this position, and I don't want to see another 4-0. No one wants to see another 4-0. We want to see this go the distance. So I think there's definitely a possibility here for Dragon Roulette to extend this series. I'm obviously gonna not abandon my predictions. No blasphemy here from my side.
You didn't believe the false god. You're believing in yourself, which is more powerful than anything.
Yeah, exactly. It is all the belief that can really guide you through. But I will say, Dragon Roulette, with that last game, I think they're showing a nice bit of form. But I will say, we've casted plenty of Striker FaZe for OBG. I've casted plenty of Striker FaZe for my own channel. And when those, they have a group of players that could really kind of switch out and be effective. But right now, it is Icy, it is Kodo. I think both of those players can be cracked, especially Icy. So if they're in the zone, if they're really feeling it, and then can continue that as they get here into the grand finals, we could possibly see something that we saw last night, where the team that wasn't on the stream all of a sudden has a really, really successful time against that team. I hope, to all that is good and holy, that we do not see that, but we have to let it go on the field. It is grand final time. Dragon Roulette, Striker FaZe, they will go to goal, and Kodo will start off scoring early.
My goodness, I didn't even get a chance to update the logos, and they're already scoring abound. I mean, my goodness. Striker FaZe sending a message to all the non-believers, and we've definitely got to put some respect on their name. And I'm fixing the fixing the logos as we go. I forgot one little minor detail. That's the price you pay when you're the producer and the caster. Too many tasks at once, but we're making do, folks. We can forgive the slight error and my excitement for the grand finals. But right now, you know, Dragon Roulette, no stranger to adversity. They have battled this entire playoff, so they are not fazed by an early 1-0 lead, but they can't let it slip too far. And right now, Shrimp with a great pressure play, a pinch right to Dragon, flips it over Kodo. Icy can't make the stop, and Dragon Roulette equalize it in stride.
Yeah, I really like this look, and just a nice chip to get that on target. And, you know, to Dragon Roulette's credit, I think their play style that they've kind of settled into today is the kind of thing that could beat the Striker FaZe team. Really physical. You're making sure that they are disrupted, that they're not getting free roam onto the ball in the rotations, and that can get you results here. And when you make Striker FaZe think about where they're positioned on the field and not how they're going to set up and really, you know, cause your defense chaos, you might find some success here. But Kodo on the ball will try and get something through the middle of the field, but Shrimzuka quick to this one. Icy right behind them, but it will be Dragon Roulette trying to pin them back on their own side. And, you know, they're willing to compete here with Striker FaZe. These teams didn't have to face each other in the middle of the season, in the regular season, I guess I should say. But excited to see what they can do here with a little bit of time to kind of get to know each other.
Definitely getting familiar. Game ones, as I always say, are the feeler games between two teams that may not be especially familiar with each other. Now, Cobra, do you recall if these two played each other? As I'm asking you, Icy is sad, is put a laser to the net. A great setup by Kodo, and an unfortunate double commit on defense leads to a wide open net, and Striker FaZe take the lead.
Yeah, I mean, so yeah, again, these teams have not faced each other. Dragon Roulette, again, 10-0 during the season. Striker FaZe, their only loss to Lethal, who did not make it to this part of the tournament. But in terms of, you know, a little bit of an aerial advantage, I think Striker FaZe, you know, kind of what I wanted to see from the side of in the previous series. You know, they can go up into the air and have a ton of success. Really want to see that one. Wow, that was, look at that. That was very close. They might have another opportunity here as Dragon will get it to go. The equalizer there, 2 minutes to play. And I think Icy tried to get a little bit cute playing it off the backboard, but it was just read oh so perfectly by the other side.
Dragon Roulette doing what they do best, patiently waiting for the opportunities and striking the second they arrive. Kodo, you know, he had an impressive last-second save, maybe due to just a little lax play, and tried to do the same thing again, but just a little too slow to the beat. But, you know, we know this Striker FaZe team, it's 2-2. There's 2 minutes to go. This is not going to be the score line at the end of this game number one. There's going to be way more goals. It's going to be one of those uncomfortable shootouts like we talked about. And right now, I think if you're on Striker FaZe's side, you got to focus on shoring up the defense. But a great play by Dragon leaves for a great shot by Shrimzuka. Look at Dragon just catching the attention of both defenders. And meanwhile, Shrimzuka just laying in the back line, ready to toss those shrimp grenades right in there and take the lead.
Absolutely. I mean, it is absolutely on fire, but Kodo, the double, looking for the angle, tough shot. Not going to be able to see that on target, but I think Dragon Roulette doing a really good job of showing a lot of pressure here and then getting that deadly shot. Dragon showing exactly what we're talking about. Danger present. One more move to get that to the central attacker, and then the shot to the heart. And no one else to blame but Dragon Roulette there.
No, this, we've been talking about how they capitalize on the mistakes. That time they forced a play, which is something they don't do too often. They just play the zone. They play the opportunities when they get them. But, it's good to catch your opponent off guard and force a play every now and then, just so they don't quite get, too comfortable with how your play style is. And, really, Dragon Roulette doing an excellent job of making Striker FaZe uncomfortable, which is something you don't see too often. And right now, Kodo with a shot denied by Dragon. Now Shrimpzuka trying to weather the storm. Takes a little too long. Icy is sad, puts it just wide, and no one to follow up. Kodo can't get to it in time with 20 seconds to go in game number 1. It's looking like it might just be a Dragon Roulette game 1 win.
Yeah, I think they're doing a really good job of keeping up the pace here, and Icy may be able to get one more with time left on the clock, so it's not quite over yet. And, Dragon Roulette, they have a very strong kickoff, so we got to see if Striker FaZe do anything fancy here. 6 seconds. It's enough time.
It's enough time, but, Dragon Roulette are definitely going to be prepared for any kickoff shenanigans. And a little overshot on the play is Icy, and the ball hits the ground. Dragon Roulette take game number 1.
Yeah, I think Striker FaZe, they set a tempo. Dragon Roulette met them at that tempo, and it surprised them. I don't think they were necessarily ready for the punch back so early on in this bout. 16 shots on target. I don't think you really get that many victories when you're allowing that many shots, but Dragon Roulette did a really good job of showing a lot of danger, forcing Striker FaZe to get up and active and, double commit and really put themselves out of position. And then that final kind of death knell shot, they were able to be clinical, methodical with it. And, we see them again taking a lead, not giving it back.
No, and I think to your point earlier, Dragon Roulette definitely powering up as each victory continues. They just get better and better and more confident, and really showing why they are the number 1 seed. And I'm impressed. I wasn't 100%. I've seen Big Dreams before. I've seen these other teams, but seeing a team like Striker FaZe who has won one-up gaming tournaments before, they're really putting the pressure on a team that we know is very good. And we've seen the challenges and the mindset that Dragon Roulette has gone through, and just wondering, is that enough? You kind of put those questions into your mind. Are they just playing against a weaker opponent? Are they just playing down? Are they just having a good game? But it goes to show after that game 1 that they are here. They are ready to adapt, I think, is the biggest thing. They are adapting to each opponent that they play against.
Yeah, right now I think they're doing a really great job, and something that I think Striker FaZe can get is they can get overwhelmed by teams when teams match their speed, but Icy double available and will get it to go! And it's another great look, and when this team is confident, oh boy, can you get shots like that? Over to and see you later.
Icy, I could have swore the driver in that car just putting a little smile and a thumbs up as he hits that double. My goodness, what a flare. And Shrimpzuka trying to get a quick kickoff goal, can't do it. Kodo able to make the stop. And right now, Kodo, strike, little razzle dazzle there. Kodo not to be ignored. Famous for his doubles as well. Wants to get a piece of the action, but can't do it just yet. Shrimpzuka trying to slow down this offense. Off the backboard to Icy. Does Icy have the boost? Doesn't matter. Dragon with the stop. Shrimpzuka rotates back in time. Great defensive stops by Dragon Roulette. Keeps them within 1 for now.
Yeah, now this is where Striker FaZe really excel. If they can hold down this midfield and continue to cycle through and kind of draw Dragon Roulette out, they get opportunities to shoot on that Striker FaZe. Doing a really good job, and finally Dragon Roulette get enough boost, get the booming clear, and they're gonna have to contend with that all series long. Striker FaZe, when they're feeling confident, they can really make a lot happen, both really mechanical on the ball. Kodo, looking for a touch mid, one more, and I don't think Icy really expected that one to get on through. Dragon will be tasked taking the first look here. Icy will fake him out, pass back to the middle of the field. Kodo up top, double available, but a waterfall down. Icy to follow it up, and really Dragon Roulette could only watch there from inside the net.
Yeah, Shrimp Zook, you know, taking an Coke and a smile on the back, in the back of the net, just waiting for that ball to fall down. But as you mentioned, against Big Dreams, they have a vulnerability. When you take it to the sky, they can't seem to stop those plays. And the 2 goals that FaZe is going, oh my God! The power of friendship compels you to pitch that ball straight past the defense. Nothing fancy there. Oh my! 131 kilometers per hour. My, that is some friendship there.
81 miles an hour for those of you that, maybe don't pay attention to the metric system, but love to see it. And again, that is a call that they made. It wasn't just happenstance. It's like, pinch, and they say yes, and then they get it to go. Dragon Roulette now down by a few, but it will not stop them here. Shrimp Zuka has been consistently able to respond. It's a great pass here from Dragon. Enough space away, and while Striker FaZe close to it, not able to kind of see that one away. It is 3-1 right now.
It's still anybody's game, plenty of time left, and you mentioned it, Shrimp Zuka finds a way to counter. He had a good opportunity on the last goal they had, but it was stopped by the Striker FaZe defense. So, he's definitely there to respond, but it just is up to Striker FaZe to make the stop, and we've got a little double commit in one zone, and Kodo's shot is just wide, bumping Shrimp out of the play. Couldn't get it on target. Dragon will take it. Icy, no boost to have, but doesn't matter. Flicks it over the defense and just catches them completely off guard, maintains that 3-goal lead with 1:36 in game 2.
Yeah, Strikers are the kind of team that is going to force you to be wary of every touch in the corner, every defensive touch on your side, because they will take it and run with it. Now Icy trying to keep away from Shrimp Zuka, who's rotating back into the play. And again, nice little bounce here. Shrimp Zuka has to get up there early and decisive. Now the carry, a little bit of boost, flip reset, but not able to push it any further. Shrimp Zuka out of the play for a little bit, and Kodo might go immediately. Dragon ready for it. Icy challenge immediately, and again the pressure always there, always looming, but now Shrimp over to Dragon. Icy has to cut that one out. That looked dangerous for the moment. A minute to play, and there's still a chance here for Dragon Roulette to find a little bit of their mojo here offensively.
Definitely looking for it. They have some good opportunities, but Striker FaZe is doing what other teams have failed to do. Get in the way of those pass plays. Finally able to intercept it, but Kodo actually passes it to Shrimp, but Kodo able to recover and make the stop. Right now, Striker FaZe are doing everything right in what they need to do to stop Dragon Roulette, except maybe a little double commit, but the shot is off target. Right now, it is Striker FaZe's game to win, and right now, with the final 10 seconds at this point, Dragon Roulette looking for maybe just some momentum going into game number 3. Icy's just looking for a little sauce. Can't quite get the goal, and Striker FaZe takes game number 2.
Yeah, listen, it's evening up the series here. I think Dragon Roulette, they had the look earlier in game number 1. Striker FaZe answer back the way that we expected them to here. But here's the danger. It really is. Striker FaZe is a team that I call an avalanche team because it really only takes one thing to set them off and then kind of continue this unstoppable force downhill all the time. Dragon Roulette have to stop this early. They have to get out in front of it. So we're getting to another series where game number 3 could be a momentum shift either way. Does Dragon Roulette kind of get a rein on Striker FaZe and kind of pull them back to reality, or does Striker FaZe continue their run? I see with 4 goals, and not saying that Kodo wasn't offensively impressive as well, 2 assists and plenty of shots, but if both of these players get going offensively, it could be kudos here.
Kudos for Kodo and Icy. They're definitely showing that they are a strong team, but Dragon Roulette equally matching them though. This is going to be a battle, and you gotta wonder if it's going to be a back and forth between these two teams, just strategy after strategy. But right off the top, Kodo a little off target, but maybe on purpose, as it sets up beautifully for Icy, continuing his goal streak. A great setup for Kodo. Shrimp Palooza kind of broke his axles on that play, just couldn't do anything but watch.
Yeah, the shot off target helps them so immensely there because Shrimp was there to kind of close that one out. If it was on target to the bottom right corner, it would have been sent away safely to the corner. But since it, was off of the wall, it bounced really nicely back to a shootable position. And now we're seeing Striker FaZe yet again with the offense, and Kodo will follow that the entirety of the way down. A quick twofer, and Kodo the control here to get the daily double.
It seems like Striker FaZe has upped the speed to 11. They are just everywhere, beating Dragon Roulette to the ball at every step of the way in the first 30 seconds of game number 3. And like you said, the avalanche has started, and I don't know what anybody can do when an avalanche starts rolling, but you might want to research that quick, maybe do a little bit of Googling, because Striker FaZe is starting to roll onward to victory, and it's up to Dragon Roulette to put that fight out. Puts it down, but just out of reach. Shrimp Zuka sends it high as well, but they're not done yet. It's still in danger. Icy is said finally able to get it out of the danger. Set up for Kodo, denied by Dragon. Cleared safely by Shrimp Zuka.
Yeah, I do think that they need one of those touches. Dragon put themselves in a really good spot, on the opponent's backboard. And you got to give a little bit of the unexpected here to the side of Striker FaZe, where, they're not able to quite read you. You make it a little bit hard for them to really plan out. But now Icy looking for the 50. Follow up for Kodo. Just no one there to stop that. And Striker FaZe, the offense is now, it's all of the gears are exactly where they need to be. The cogs are aligned. 3 goals in the span of about a minute 30 here.
Yeah, they're controlling every aspect of this game so far early on, but all it takes for Dragon Roulette is 1 goal if they can get it, but not if Kodo and Icy have anything to say about it. The show keeps going, the avalanche keeps rolling, and right now Shrimp Zuka and Dragon are just spinning in circles, trying to figure out how to get out of this tidal wave, and getting a little dizzy, maybe get them a little vomit bag. But right now, Kodo can just not do anything wrong. Almost gets another goal there, denied by Dragon. And what can Dragon Roulette do to kind of stifle this momentum a bit?
Yeah, I mean, right now, the one critical worry is that both of these players are feeling it mechanically, but they have to, I think what it is, you have to get these players off ball, you have to bump them, you have to really get them uncomfortable here because they're getting a little bit too much room in their run-ups on the target here. So Shrimzuka, it was again a good play, but Kodo waiting in the wings. I think Dragon trying to do exactly that, chasing down the attacker from behind, but just a little bit too late on it. It is 5-0 here, and when they get into like an even playing field, I think you just have to figure out a way to rattle FaZe. You have to get them to a spot where they're not able to have the space that they want, which means you have to play more aggressive. You have to be willing to go and fight them in the air and not let them kind of have this amazing look here. Icy. I mean, it's just picture perfect for him right now.
It really is. It's just the highlight reel for a game for Striker FaZe, and you know, I mean, good for them to be efficient. You know, you want to get all your clips in one game. That way, when you start doing your highlight reel, you don't really have to put a lot of work in. Just look at the one replay.
Yeah, right now they're doing a really good job of assisting as well, where they're opening up opportunities for their teammates, and you know, that gives them more confidence in every single play, where they're playing more aggressively, they're playing more forward thinking because they know their teammate has their interests at heart in terms of, you know, getting up good shots. But now Shrimzuka, maybe an opportunity here, options to pass. They're gonna go for the shot instead, but across the goal line. And I think this player may be the most important. Shrimzuka, can they do anything to stop some of those attacks and present more danger to the side of Striker FaZe? Because as soon as you get a couple of really nice goals on target, Striker FaZe will be forced to slow down, forced to, you know, pay heed to their back line.
Definitely, and I think that Shrimzuka has the potential. And, you know, they had a couple opportunities.
They both do, yeah.
Yeah, they definitely do. And, you know, Dragon has that quickness, but right now showing a little bit slower paced than usual. Shrimzuka sending it off the backboard. Dragon follow up, and a great save by Striker FaZe. And in the final minute, at this point, you gotta know that your number is up for this game. Just try to gain some momentum, settle down the good feelings of Striker FaZe, and get something going for you. You know, get your back to your game, what makes you feel more comfortable. And right now they're trying everything they can, but it's just Striker FaZe's moment to just be there, and they're just feeling it.
Yeah, and I think, you know, you just need to take that mental reset, a little bit of time to just really think it over. They have to be a little bit more reliant on their pathing in their positioning. You know, rely on pads, not just relying on those 100 boosts, because they're not going to get a lot of time to respond to what Striker FaZe is doing. They are very quick on the attack, and if you don't have a player that is up in support defensively, you're going to see multiple Striker FaZe rotations where that second, third opportunity is available to them, and they do not mind taking it.
Yeah, they're just a little behind, just a little under the play, and Shrimzuka is looking for, he wants to get a goal somehow, and it's going to be in his own net. And, you know, maybe that's the momentum you need.
Yeah,
going
I
into
think,
game
you know,
number 3.
Kind of reminds me of, they're just testing out, you know, the driver in golf. You know, it's just like, all right, I just got to get the swing back. Let me just remind myself what a goal feels like in that touch. And, you know, we're seeing a 1,000-point game from Kodo, and, you know, Icy kind of started this trend of, you know, the high scoring, the high assist here. And now Kodo is right up there with them. In fact, surpassing them in just this game here. But now Dragon Roulette, you take all of this time that you got in between the match, and you think, all right, how can I better help my teammate? How can we as a unit really shut down some of these opportunities? Because we're seeing Striker FaZe, it's, you know, not only the first opportunity that's dangerous, it's the third and the fourth, and as they cycle through, it just gets more and more deadly because the defense just can't get back in time.
No, it's not. And, you know, they got to work on their speed too. They got to work on, you know, right now Striker FaZe is just firing on all cylinders, and they're going to the sky. Like we mentioned, like That is definitely a weakness that Dragon Roulette seems to have. They haven't been able, that's the one thing they have not been able to adapt to yet, is the aerial assaults. You know, a very strong ground team, but so far they have not had a lot of luck in the sky.
Yeah, and it's really, they have the mechanics to get up there. It's just they have to decide to take the fight there. They have to be willing to say, all right, I'm not going to give you time to line up a flip reset. I'm not going to let you plan out your path to the backboard. They have to decide, I'm going to get up early. I'm going to try and give my teammate, even if I get dusted, I have to give my teammate the best opportunity to get into this play.
And looks like the best opportunity for Shrimpzuka is a car change, throwing out the Dom, but it's not going to work as Kodo, picking up where he left off, strikes first in the first 30 seconds of game number 4.
And just unfortunately, you know, kind of got eaten up from the corner where they're not able to deflect that into a safe spot. But I do like, you know, maybe a little bit of the change, not quite feeling it, but wanting to feel a little bit more speedy, but icy. Now on the ball, looking to carry this the entire way. Double available, but will be at least parried aside for now. Offense obviously not over just yet, but Dragon trying to carry that. Now Shrimpzuka loses out on that one, and it's up to the defense to clear the danger. Icy for the chip. Good demo on the back line, and that's a little bit of something that they could use a little bit more. Demoing that second defender if it's possible. They'll do it twice in the matter of 30 seconds. Now, waterfall down, shot a little bit high, follow-up light, and Icy now on the run. They don't have a ton of boost, and they don't necessarily need it. They will score the second goal here in Game 4.
You gotta feel for Dragon Roulette. They had the looks, they had the right idea, but they just couldn't quite execute. And regardless of being out of boost, Icy still able to get him in the way of Shrimpzuka, not allowing him to catch up and stop that in time. And Striker FaZe find themselves a 2-0 lead in the first minute and a half or so, minute and 15. And right now, you know, Dragon Roulette, they're struggling. They're definitely feeling it. They're struggling in the score-wise, but they definitely are not deterred from the results of this game yet. They definitely shown, but it's, oh my goodness, as I say it, how can you not be a little deterred when these bounces just are not going your way?
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like we don't really have time for analysis, like on here as a caster speaking, and I cannot imagine, you know, on the field or Dragon Roulette, they're trying to come up with answers and just not coming to an answer that solves the equation. Kodo downfield, and Icy looking for the redirect. Light touch should be open for Kodo. Will put it in. That will be 4. And they can just score in a multitude of ways. You can see it coming. Icy didn't have to do too much. Decided, oh, I could take this or I could set up my team. They go for the latter.
I think, is that 11 unanswered goals at this point between the last two games? Striker FaZe are on fire, and, you know, Dragon Roulette, you know, they cannot find the back of the net for the life of them right now. I think for them, they just need that one. They just need one goal to get themselves back into this. Talk about an Avalanche team, you know, but the stingy as Striker FaZe is, they won't allow it. They won't even give them an inch or a meter, as it were.
I'm going to try and ignore the metric system trying to be pushed on to me. How dare you? But still plenty of time. Dragon Roulette looking for all the answers, and Icy looking for some movement here. Goes up and has the escort, and it will buy just enough time for Icy to kind of float into the net here. Peep Kodo downfield, just locking on, and just gets enough of a screen in front of Shrimpzuka, who's, you know, moving all around the net, trying to avoid the demolition, but not able to get back to the ball.
Yeah, you know, I was going to say, Kodo being the bully, like, do you really need to go for the bump plays as well? You've got the glitz, you got the glamour, you've got the speed. Do you really need to bully him as well? I mean, talk about toxic behavior. That's Eagles fan mentality right there.
Oh boy, a lot of Philadelphians might not be happy with that, but it's true. All right, moving on here. 217, Icy trying to get the chip and maybe a little bit of space open here for Dragon. It just gets too close to the net. The angle does disappear. That little ray of sunlight, and Kodo has daylight on the other side. 4 days. It'll be 7-0 here. And you said this earlier that it was at the time 11 unanswered, and that sounded very similar to what Crouton said in terms of just the goals scored without a response. I do want to check. Dragon Roulette has not scored in a hot minute, have they?
They have not, and they're just trying to find something. But you called it. You called it perfectly, Cobra. This is an Avalanche team, and right now it's a monster. But Shrimpzuka, finally, the Dragon Roulette gods have bestowed upon them a golden goal, and they finally get on the board for the first time in a game and a half, over a game and a half, and it's 7-1. You know, the chances of them coming back are very slim, not impossible, but they've got to get going now. The momentum's on their side. They've got to grasp control. They've got to take the reins while they can.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's one of those things where you have to find something to kind of hang your hat on. You have to find a little bit of momentum as they're looking for some demolitions, but Icy, a little bit of bobbing and weaving, messing around with the ball, looking for another opportunity, and the clearance goes through.
I'm so disappointed in us. This whole time we've talked about Brazils, and we've got one staring at us right in the face. We don't even acknowledge it. We forgot our passports. I think the problem was we tried to get into Brazil, but they didn't let us in at the gate. Apparently, Cobra's got some felonies on him, and now Icy Assad has left the building, and finally we're able to, you know, we got deported back to the U.S. They don't want us Yanks there, and now 8-1. The momentum is shifted back in the favor of Striker FaZe.
Yeah, I mean, Striker FaZe almost so far in the terms of momentum that, you know, they didn't really need to do too much to get it back here, but now the double available. I just go in and does. Pass downfield, and Icy is just feeling it right now. I mean, what are you supposed to do? Kodo is launching themselves right behind just in case Icy didn't quite have the read. And, you know, at some point here, you know, we have to take a look again. I just keep thinking, oh, is that one in? It is.
It is. It is.
Off the kickoff, and at some point, you know, the goals are just being scored so much that we won't be able to say how remarkable they are. It's just expected at some point. But my mind keeps going back to the words of Crouton, who, you know, not even
you weren't there.
Yeah, you weren't there. Like a war veteran, just talking about the stories from the front, just talking about the experiences, what they saw. We're seeing it here now. We're reliving it, and you know, we didn't believe them. We didn't realize how dominant the Striker FaZe team could be, but they will run away with game number 4, 10-1, scoring double digits. And now Dragon Roulette, I mean, I'm not sure what the answer could be. I'm not sure if, you know, they just can put this behind them, but they are on their final life here.
They can definitely put this behind them, but I don't think Striker FaZe is putting anything behind. They've got the pedal to the metal, and they have not let up. They are just scoring at will. They are definitely feeling it. And, you know, I'm sure you've got Crouton. We'll have to check on him at some point. He might be in the corner, shaking, you know, shivering a little bit after
the fetal position.
In the fetal position, rocking back and forth.
Yep.
FaZe. And Kodo, Ariel, double You know, just all the phases. 1,200 points for Icy, almost 1,000 for Kodo. I mean, short of an electrical storm, internet outage, I'm having a hard time imagining, you know, what exactly Dragon Roulette can do to weather this storm and turn this series around.
They have to level up here. They just have to level up. I mean, the storm is here. It is present. And sometimes you need to go out for walks in the rain, and it's exactly what they need to do here. They don't have the time, you know, to try and figure out what the answer is. They just have to go full throttle in. They cannot have any hesitation when it comes to Striker. And they might have the opportunity here, just need to put this on target. And this is a good start for Dragon Roulette. Starting early, start quickly, and do not let Striker FaZe get any advantages here.
Definitely, that's the start you need to see if you're Dragon Roulette. You really slowed down the pace of Dragon Roulette. I mean, like we said, they have a great ground game team and a kickoff goal on top of it. 2 quick goals in 35 seconds. They are not out of this series yet. They are here to play and showing exactly why they are the #1 seed. Finally, some signs of life on Dragon Roulette, and when it counts the most. Right now, Striker FaZe is on match point. It's do or die for Dragon Roulette at this point.
Yeah, I think right now they're just deciding to they just have to play better. That is literally the thing. They just have to decide, we're going to keep in this. We're going to try and do our best every single time we're on the ball. And they do really well when they have a lead, so they have to play outside of themselves. They have to play clean Rocket League, and they might get another one here off the rip. Dragon Roulette, they're turning good defensive play through the transition into offense, and they have a 3-goal swing for them.
Apparently, neither one of us could see a way out of this, but I think Dragon's got a magical crystal ball really predicting what was going to happen. And my goodness, it's like the old Dragon Roulette team that we've seen all night. We've seen this team, and finally they showed up. And now the question is, oh my goodness, almost a 4th goal, but a great stop by Icy. But Dragon Roulette not done yet. That's what you want to see. As we mentioned before, you got to get aggressive and boom these players. Get them uncomfortable. Get them on the back of their feet. And right now, Dragon Roulette has all the momentum going in there. A tactical whiff by Dragon. Kodo having to put into a corner again. They're not moving the pace, but a little defensive flub there, but able to recover just fine. Dragon trying to get it back into the orange zone. Shrimp bumped out of the play, sent sky high as Icy is sad, has a wide open net. I mean, is this Rumble? Did Kodo just get the strength buff where you just boom people out of the way, or the punch glove? Yeah. It's the punch glove. My goodness, did he send Shrimp out of the atmosphere there?
Yeah, Shrimp left a little bit on an island there and really had to choose where they wanted to go. Unfortunately, they didn't have a ton, and now Striker FaZe come roaring back yet again. Kodo, attracting 2 defenders and will get the final touch there. And Dragon Roulette, they've typically done well with a lead, but they haven't had to face this kind of offense until this series. Will that stay true here, or will Striker FaZe find a little bit more comfort in this series? Will be the Shrimp, who doesn't have a ton of boost, but has to stay on ball. Touch to the middle, shot to be good! And Dragon Roulette, they are not done yet. A hat trick here for Dragon, and this is the kind of back and forth play that Dragon Roulette need.
Definitely, they got to maintain that 2-goal lead. 1 is not going to do it. They had 3, they'll settle for 2 for now, but we're not even at halftime yet. And, I was a little worried once Striker FaZe got a couple goals in them, but glad to see Dragon Roulette come roaring back and get one of them back at least, and showing some signs of life and looking for another. Icy able to make the stop. Dragon, you can tell, now that they have a little bit of a lead, Dragon's playing a little bit further back, respecting the offensive prowess of Striker FaZe. Dragon a little far ahead of the play, taking it in front of the net. What are you doing, Dragon? Trying to give me a heart attack. Able to avoid Icy. Slips past him, but Shrimp able to respawn, but not in enough time. Kodo sends a laser to the back of the net.
Yeah, right now for both of these teams, it is just making decisive moves. Not a lot of mind games. It is getting to a spot, getting there quickly. That is all it is about. And we saw a very confident defense from Dragon, a confident shot from Kodo. And that is all it is turning out to be. What team can really imprint their confidence into the series? Right now, Dragon Roulette finding a little bit of that answer, but Striker FaZe, they're never too far away, and that, I believe, looked for the 50, didn't necessarily need it as Kodo covered enough of the ball to really dissuade the touch, and now back to a tied game 4-4 here.
My goodness, you can never count Striker FaZe out. Dragon Roulette, though, they're not quite done yet. They're still looking to get that one back. They have an offensive chance now, but denied by Kodo. Takes it to the sky, and Striker FaZe, when again we're talking about this, the strong ground game that Dragon Roulette has. Once Striker FaZe starts taking them to the air, they start to crumble a little bit, and now Dragon Roulette's doing everything they can to kind of keep this mostly a ground game. Right now, with a minute to go, it is their game to take if they want, but they've got to work hard for it as Icy tries to push it forward into the blue zone. Has dangling between two defenders, bumps Dragon out of the way, and Kodo gets the go-ahead goal for the first time in this game and could be the championship winner with a minute to go.
Yeah, it could be the game-winning goal, exactly. And it just, caught up a little bit in the corner, and now it is all about this final minute of play. Dragon Roulette have to continue to find the answers, and they have to continue to try and play with confidence, but Icy could put it away with a good touch. Will look for the rebound off the wall, and they will take the shot near post and away. Dragon Roulette have a little bit more life to play with. Lucky that one did not go in. Have to thank their lucky stars, but they won't have time for it as of right now. 30 seconds remain. Dragon looking for the clearance. Icy is there, ready and waiting. Another save required. Have to find a way out. That is a good ball. Where will the bounce be? Icy trying to see it away, but the shot maybe not expected here for Dragon Roulette. Now the final 10. It could be Kodo to kind of ice this game out. Icy off the top. Kodo to put it away. And that is the dagger. Striker FaZe go up by 2. And they will have all the time in the world to take the victory.
My goodness, you saw it. Shrimp knows what that moment was and knows that that could have been the tying game decider and could have taken it to an overtime, but it goes the other way. Striker FaZe takes the 2-goal lead, gets the winner, and they are now crowned the All-Star Skyward Series champions.
This is a team that they got control and they never let it go. And, all credit to Dragon Roulette for getting to this spot. And they really gave us a great look in that game number 1 and game number 5 of, what this series should be. But, the goal scoring ability, the mechanical ability for Striker FaZe for these two players, Kodo and Icy, it is just elite for this level. So it absolutely a deserved victory for them, and if they wear the crown is heavy on those shoulders, but they wear it well.
They do wear it indeed. We've talked about the caliber that this team is, and Dragon Roulette really had to make them work for it. I think it's the toughest challenge probably that Striker FaZe has faced all playoffs. And, you know, as much as Crouton said they dominate, they still, yes, they did dominate. When they were winning games, they were winning games. Those 2 games where they held Dragon Roulette scoreless was a master class. And, you know, they deserve every bit of victory they've gotten.
Yeah, well, it is a it's another 2 seed that is getting the victory here, and almost a identical kind of run to the previous winners of MM Rush, where they're absolutely crushing opponents on the lower side of this bracket, and then and they do not play when they get to the grand finals. So again, congratulations to them, and really excited to actually talk a little bit to Striker FaZe here soon.
Speaking of, let's take it to the desk now and get their views on the new champions and Striker FaZe. Take it away, Feisty.
Okay, I see. What's going on, everybody? How are we doing? I was trying to get everybody lined up here. We've got the desk for you. It is Sleepless, finally with the correct name. Crouton Dust, welcome, coming on back. And oh my, is that Cobra Warrior?
Yeah, well, you know what? I was just so very excited that, you know, I got to cast that game and I wanted to talk so much. So I decided to just like hop over the desk, you know, hop, skip, and a jump away to join you guys.
Well, we also have 2 other people here with us. We've got Icy is Sad and Kodo in the chat, the winners of the All-Star 2v2. Guys, what is going on?
I don't know what's going on. I can't believe we won this. I'm really fucking happy. Really proud of my team.
Yeah.
My bad.
It's all good. Hey, we
really
understand
happy.
being happy. We understand. Being happy.
It was the one rule I sent you.
My bad.
Yeah, same here.
But I'm glad to hear it, man. Icy, help me out real quick. Going through that final match, I mean, you were clipping. Like, I'm just gonna be honest. You were clipping.
After the first round match, we just adjusted the speed because we were just going at their pace, so we just went faster. That's really it. Then we just played our game.
Yeah. I mean, you absolutely did play your game. You played your game all the way through the lower bracket into the grand finals. Now, I'm gonna hand it over to somebody else here. Crouton, you got to see this team. Do you have a question for Icy or Kodo?
I do, in fact, Taquito. Thanks for handing it off to me. Listen, Icy, this one's for you. What did you have for breakfast this morning? Because good lord, you were stomping through the entire day. I got to see your first match. I got to go with Outlaw in your second match, and I got to watch from the green room. I got to watch you win the finals like that. What's the diet like? What'd you have this morning?
I slept. That's it. Just get better. That's how you get better. Just sleep.
You just gotta sleep. You gotta sleep. Yeah. All right. Well, seeing as this person's name is kind of the lack of sleep, Sleepless, do you have a question for Kodo?
Honestly, I don't. Mine's covered by croutons. Like, what did you eat this morning? That was amazing. I'll be honest, I predicted against you guys. I predicted for the Dragon Roulette full win. But when I was pretending to be Bozo, I did say it was going to be a 9-0 in your guys' favor. And it was only a 4-0, but it was close to a 9-0. That's basically the same thing.
I mean, it was 5-1, homie. I'm sorry, Kodo. I got to take that away from it. It was 5-1. You guys
It was basically 9-0. Basically 9-0. Like the score line, it was basically 9-0. But yeah, I would say like how do you guys like? What was your so you say like you had the switch of like play style. What do you feel like it was that you just need to change to step it up for the rest of the series or the rest of the night?
Kodo.
Oh, my bad. So basically, after our first match, Icy just told me his plan that we need like to go faster than them, that we're better than them, and I don't know. That just came to my mind, and I felt a lot better, and then we just won.
Exactly.
All right, and last but not least, Cobra. I mean, you casted Dragon all day. I mean, I know you are no stranger to this Striker FaZe team. I know you definitely have seen these guys play. Do you have a question for these guys about coming into specifically Grands, knowing that their opponent pretty much did the same thing?
Yeah, well, I guess the question is to both of you guys, and on the cast, I called you guys an avalanche team, where it feels like as soon as you get a grasp of something that you find that is successful for you guys, whether it is your aerial game, whether it is being a physical team, whether it is just the shot placement, you guys tend to kind of roll with that and then keep that momentum. You guys talked about the game plan. I want to hear a little bit about the comms as you guys kind of hyping each other up and keeping each other going. What does that look like in the series, especially after losing that game 1? Did you lose any confidence? Did you discover anything that you needed to further change, or was it just kind of getting used to a new opponent?
It's mainly getting used to a new opponent. We usually lose first games because we're trying to figure out our opponent's playstyle mainly, and then we just adjust to that. And we like to analyze the teams that we play against.
I mean, that's a pretty good answer. I know a lot of people who normally play this game even at a higher level, and I mean these are just amateur leagues. We're not RLCS or anything like that. We're here having fun, still trying to be in a competitive environment. A lot of people don't use the brain power to actually analyze their opponents. So hearing that you guys do that, Kodo, it's amazing. Hearing that you guys actually, tell each other, hey, speed it up, slow it down, mix up this, you can do this, I'll be back here. You guys are actually actively using each other's strengths to really push forward to victory for your team. And I think that's wonderful. Do you have any shout outs, Kodo, you'd like to give out?
Shout out to Twisted.
Yeah.
The Whisper.
I was
Exactly.
gonna talk about anyway. But he always supporting us a lot. Like throughout the series, he was messaging us saying like, you guys can regain after first game and everything. He always supporting us. He is incredible, man. Really love him.
All
He's
right.
like a brother to me.
Heard that. Icy, you got anything, or is it Twisted too? It's a double Twisted shout out.
Yeah, double Twisted.
It's a double Twisted shout out. All right, Twisted, you hear it.
Shout out Wino as well, our mascot.
Mascot, okay. We got the shout out to the mascot. All right, so I mean, like that's two shout outs, two simple shout outs from two guys who just absolutely ran through the bracket, guys. I mean, thank you so much for the content y'all provided this evening. It's been a wonderful show. But I mean, I think that's it from us, for the questions and everything.
Taquito, I'm so sorry to interrupt you.
Okay,
This is important.
okay.
This is very
Yes.
important. Listen, Icy, I tried to go through Outlaw earlier. He shot me down. I need your
Right.
autograph.
Too bad I'm on console.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
He said get the Steam sign, but he can't because he's on console.
Wow.
You hate to see it. All right,
Yeah.
guys.
He
He reserves that as soon as you get a PC. He's
Yeah.
Right.
why
The
it's like,
first
all right,
Steam
maybe now.
sign from Icy is
First
back.
in line.
All right, guys. Hey, we're gonna go ahead and send y'all out of here. I mean, y'all go ahead and just get on with the rest of your night. Thank you guys for stopping in for this interview. But I mean, until the next series, until the next game, until we see y'all again on the cast, y'all keep playing at that level, man. Y'all are absolutely wonderful. Y'all have a great night, okay?
All right.
Thank you. You too.
And that was Icy is Sad, and that was Kodo, the winners of the evening here on the All-Star 2v2, guys. I mean, Slepless, Crouton, Cobra. Can we ask for a better night? I mean, this is two absolutely wonderful nights in a row.
Exactly. We do have a pattern though. We have a pattern where both nights the second seed has beat the first seed. So tomorrow
Ooh.
we have to watch out for Happy Atlantic. If the pattern emerges, we'll be getting beat by Breeze tomorrow. If this still happens.
Ooh.
So if that happens, we have the upset of the season.
I like the statistics. I like the
So we have
statistics.
we gotta keep an eye on that.
We got an early prediction coming in from the man on production tomorrow.
I will be here. I'll be clicking buttons.
and clicking buttons. Hey, you know what? I got to give a big shout out here to Crouton Dust. I'll get to Cobra, but I got to give a big shout out to Crouton Dust coming in, hosting his own stream, hopping in with Outlaw. And then not only that, hopping in on the desk the second day. Man, you're doing a great job. And I hope you're really enjoying the cast. I haven't had a chance to obviously catch them because I've been here on the desk, but I really hope you're enjoying your weekend, man. And thank you so much for being here with us.
Yeah, it's an absolute pleasure. I've had a ton of fun. Like I said, it's an honor to be on the desk with you guys. I wasn't expecting that. I mean, what a surprise! It's great. And I do want to say, to add to what Slev said, little stats here. Both days now, the winner has started on my channel. So, I mean, am I the lucky charm?
Okay, we gotta keep an eye out on channel tomorrow. See who it is. Because I mean,
what I'm hearing is we need a shout out in the chat for Crouton Dust's Twitch, and you all need to go follow, because apparently that's where the winner is gonna be shown. Game number 1, series number 1 is gonna be on Crouton Dust. But guys, like I said, we can't forget about the last person on the desk. Got to give the praise to the man Cobra. Before I say anything else, I also need to say, Brambo, I know you're here. I know you're listening. I know you're not on the cast. You're talking crap in the chat. I saw you say the smooth brain thing. That was wrong. I didn't call anybody smooth brain. I was just saying most people don't do what they do. It's just true. And Cobra is going to back me up on this. Watch. It's going to happen. Cobra, I just got to say, man, I love your casting style. I love everything you bring to a series and how you just, you give us what we want to see in such an articulated way, if you will. Your diction of the game as it's happening is wonderful, and I'm so glad that you're here on the mainstream casting.
Yeah, well, I do appreciate it here, and I appreciate the opportunity to be able to cast Rocket League like this. I mean, as a caster, you're an elevated fan, really, where you're just able to kind of be, front row seats, courtside to the action. Again, a shout out to all the teams here. Obviously, Striker FaZe having a wonderful, debut on the mainstream here. And I do want to give a shout out to Dragon Roulette, who were constantly able to bring in, and for that number 1 seed, they did put a fight, and not many teams would have kind of kept their heads up and continued to try and put on a show like they did. So I do want to put a shout out to that. But again, it was a really wonderful night. The 2 seed has a little bit of magic, a little bit of that Crouton Dust, if you will. So you do got to keep an eye on that. And again, shout out to Brambo for making the casting life a little bit easier.
Man, at the end of the day, at the end of the night, just like last night, we are here to bring it to a close in the Skyward Series 2v2 weekend bonanza. We've got one more day. It is premiere. It is the highest level of Rocket League tomorrow. Make sure you guys are literally following all these other streamers. You're following Slep. Maybe he's not streaming. I don't know. But if he's got a Twitch, follow him. Okay.
Definitely post Lopeless.
Go follow him on Twitter or whatever. He posts some funny things.
I do.
Make sure you're following Crouton Dust. I know Cobra's got a Twitch. Make sure you're over there following Cobra. Brambo's got some stuff. Make sure you're following Brambo. Draco streamed tonight. Make sure you're following Draco. Sporty, who wasn't here, was here last night. He was casting women's carball today. Excellent league. Also check it out. Go follow Sporty. I mean, we've got all these people here on the cast this weekend trying to bring you the best content we possibly can. And at the end of the day, I'd plug myself, but that's not what I'm here for. I'm just the host.
I'm here to do that. Get this man. I see the keto. All right, before we end this off, I need to say something too. So we had Brambo, Cobra, Draco, Crouton Dust, Ninja. All right, not Ninja. He's gonna kill me now. NJ Outlaw on the outside casting. But we have Feisty the Keto right here, or here. Yeah, it's here. He's here. He carries his desk. It's his job. He's amazing at it. We have Flip Out. He's doing things. We have Bezo. He's being a fraud, but he's doing things too. And it's amazing. The whole crew we have here is amazing. We couldn't do any of this without you. So as the present owner of Skyward, I need to say thank you for everyone who makes this happen, because it's the dream. And tomorrow premiere, exciting. Oh, and Brambo. Sorry, Brambo's in the back. He's hitting the buttons today. He needs to follow it's the Brambo, I think. And yeah, that's what I got.
Well, guys, that's the present owner of Skyward for you. There's the words. There's the send-off. We have nothing else left for you this evening. That is going to conclude the broadcast. 7 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. You are not going to want to miss any of the action. And until that time, everybody, we'll see y'all on the next one. Skyward's out of here.